Two teams headed in opposite directions meet head-on in Honolulu. From Aloha Stadium, K5, the home team presents Western Athletic Conference football. This evening, the nationally ranked and undefeated University of Hawai'i Warriors host the Aggies of Utah State. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to our coverage of University of Hawai'i football. I'm Jim Leahy, along with Jim Donovan. So far, so good for the University of Hawai'i. They are 5-0. They are like the tightrope walker going over a gorge with no net. As long as they keep stepping well, as long as they keep doing the same balanced thing, they will get to the other side. And for Utah State, well, that's a team that has just struggled this year. They are averaging only 15 points a game, while the University of Hawai'i is putting up 54 points a game. And Utah State, I'm telling you, they come in here as decided underdogs.
Well, there's no question, but head coach Brent Guy is going to try and get his Aggies fired up tonight, maybe looking at an upset like we've seen across the country so far all this season. I think what Coach Brent Guy is going to do, being the defensive coach that he is that he's going to rush the quarterback. He's going to go after Colt Brennan. He's going to see if his ankle's still good, try to make him throw before he wants to. He's going to have those 4 DBs covering the 4 wideouts like he did last year, and they're going to give it their best shot, Jim.
Well, Colt Brennan had 5 interceptions last week against Idaho. He still is throwing 407 yards as far as his personal passing prowess is concerned, and he wants to get back on track tonight. When we come back, we'll kick it off. Hawaii against Utah State. And today, when you look at the results of those other games, anything can happen.
This exclusive sports presentation of the home team is sponsored by Hawaiian Telcom. With speeds up to 11 megabytes per second, Hawaiian Telcom high-speed internet is now Hawaii's fastest internet. Sign up today and get your first month free.
Really had a good time tonight.
Me too.
Hey, let me get your jacket.
Got a real storage problem? Call the Real Storage Experts. Call Public Storage at 1-800-44-STORE to get your first month for just $1. We're the leader in self-storage with everything you need to make storage easier and more convenient locations than anyone else. Call 1-800-44-STORE or click to get your first month for just $1 at your nearby Public Storage. The Real Storage Experts.
Everywhere we go, our new lower auto insurance rates are saving people big money.
Wow. Switch and we'll handle the paperwork to close out your old policy.
Rates even lower than before. Discover the AIG Advantage. Call for your money-saving auto insurance quote today.
These views, these homes, this life can be yours at Keola o Pokai Bay, a new development of 3- and 4-bedroom single-family homes starting in the low 400,000s. Fee simple. Visit us at pokaibay.com.
It's every day. You're hauling this, moving that, banging heads with rocks and mud. That's your life. So get into the biggest, baddest, full-sized pickup, the all-new Toyota Tundra. It's got monster horsepower and torque. And there's enough room for you, your crew, your dog, and all your stuff. And right now, the Tundra and every 2007 Toyota truck and SUV is on sale at their lowest prices ever. The Haul It, Move It clearance sale at your Toyota dealers of Hawaii. Happening now, but not for long.
It's official. Hawaiian Telcom has the fastest internet in Hawaii with speeds of up to 11 megs. To connect, call 643-0805 or visit hawaiiantel.com. Are you ready for the speed?
Closed captioning is brought to you by Blue Earth Biofuels, greening Hawaii for energy leadership in the world. Blue Earth Biofuels, for a new, more sustainable energy future.
Toss of the coin tonight. Utah wins the toss. They will receive. Hawaii will defend the north end zone. Let's take a look now at the keys to the game, sponsored by Kaiser Permanente. Right.
Well, for Utah State, they need to score early. Utah State has been outscored 37-7 in their first 5 games. However, they have found themselves tied or ahead in the fourth quarter in 3 of the 5 games. They need to score early and score often. The Warriors need to shut down Robinson. He's a great wide receiver, a great athlete for the Aggies. He's also the kick returner. He averages 202 yards all-purpose every game. That's third in the country. On punt returns, 22.2 yards a game. That's second in the country. And last week versus Utah, he had 71 yards for 7 receptions. The Warrior defense needs to shut him down.
Yep, he can motor, that's for sure. This injury report is sponsored by HMSA, working for a healthier Hawaii. Utah State, Jimmy Boehm was injured, and he did not make the trip. He is a wide receiver. For Hawaii, Ryan Mouton is injured with the partially torn knee. And then Michael Lafayette, earlier today we were informed that he will not play, also knee problems. So Lafayette and Mouton not playing for Hawaii. There you see June Jones. June Jones comes into this game trying to win his 70th game as the coach. He is 69-40. He is 41-24 in WAC games. He is 24-9 in WAC home games. So June Jones, this would be kind of a milestone for him. And for Utah State, the head coach is Brent Guy in his third year. He is 4-24 overall, 3-14 in the WAC. So his teams have struggled, but I'm telling you, this coaching staff for Utah State has come up with some pretty good ideas. The offensive coordinator is Darryl Dickey in his first year. He was former head coach at North Texas, and the defensive coordinator is Mark Johnson in his third year. And he has coached at 4 different WAC schools: San Jose State, Boise State, Nevada, and now at Utah State. So there you see Kevin Robinson. Robinson, a 6', 200-pound senior from Fresno, California. Kickoff returns 5 for a 27-yard average. His longest kickoff return, 82 yards and a touchdown. So he goes back as the single deep player. Dan Kelly will kick off for Hawaii as we are about to get underway. Marsh and Robinson back deep. Marsh joins Robinson. And it will go to Robinson. Robinson past the 20. Robinson spun out of bounds as he gets to the 30-yard line. Will have a late hit. So Robinson had succumbed at the 30-yard line. His back was to the field, and somebody bumped him out of bounds when he was out of bounds. The referee
after the play was
is
over,
Bill McKay.
Personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 16 on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So we have defensive holding. That will move the ball from the point of the infraction and give Utah State very good field position. So Utah State with Leon Jackson III, 6'1", senior from Long Beach, California, went to Poly High School. And he comes in here 67 of 103, 556 yards, 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. First down for Utah State. The snap and the handoff is given up the middle. And with it is Dervin Spate, who gets a start tonight. He was not supposed to have the start. They call him Whirlin' Dervin. And he goes for short yardage. This is the offense for Utah State. Johnson, Murphy, Tanamacher, Jorgensen, Hoke, Fossil. Robinson is the quarterback. Nelson, Atkinson, and also in there is LeSueur. No gain on that last play. In motion is Spate. Carrying the ball is Jackson. And Leon Jackson swallowed up as he gets over the 45-yard line to about the 48-yard line. The black shirts corral him. For Hawaii on defense, Purcell Laele Watson. Watson taking the place of Michael Lafayette in tonight's game. Noah, then Leonard Ilamimian and Kalili Moku, the linebackers, and the defensive secondary, Newberry, Monte, Patek, and Lewis. Third down, a long 5 for Utah State. Double wide receiver comes out to the near side. They send Spade in motion to the far side. Empty backfield. Jackson, Spate trying to get some blocking. He does. Gets the first down. Breaks tackles. Gets inside Warrior territory to about the 45-yard line. It will be first down for Utah State.
We're to see Spate here, who's a redshirt freshman coming in, doing a nice job right there, escaping a tackle, getting some positive yardage for the Aggies.
Coming over to make the tackle for Hawaii was Kalili Moku. There was some missed tackles early in the play, and that sprung him. First down from the 45-yard line of Hawaii. Utah State first opening drive. In motion is Robinson. He's dangerous. Ball is given up the middle. Very short gain to Dervin Spate. Spate out of Irvine, Texas. 49th rush of the season, came in with 169 yards and 1 touchdown. A red shirt freshman and many young players on this team. This is a very young team for Utah State. Utah State has 18 seniors on the roster, but only 3 lettermen. And the team has 22 players from the home state of Utah. Second down and 10. First drive of the game. Double wide receiver to the left. That's Nelson and also Robinson. Back to pass Jackson. He'll try to run. Ankle tackled as he gets inside the 45-yard line to about the 43. So we'll see.
You can see Adam Leonard right there coming in on a blitz, putting some pressure on the quarterback, Jackson.
Joshua Leonard also in on the play. And it is 3rd down and 7. 3rd down, long yardage. Xavier Bowman is to the far side. And Robinson to the near side. They come out in 3 wides. Ball is handed up the middle. With it is Spate. Struggles inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Short of the first down. That will bring up down number 4, Solomon Ilamimian. Number 17 for Hawaii, out of Los Angeles, 5'11" junior. Went to Crenshaw High in Los Angeles. Comes into tonight's game leading the team in tackles with 53, including 6 tackles for loss. He has 1 sack. Ilamimian making the stop there. 4th down, short yardage, 4th down and 2. They are going to go for it. Spade in motion. Jackson audibilizing. Jackson to run for the first down. He has it and more. Jackson into the secondary. Jackson inside the 10-yard line. Boy, it just opened up for him like a time-lapsed flower. 29-yard jaunt.
Jim, that was a design quarterback keeper. It looked like there was a pulling guard for a trap on the inside there. Let's see, right there is the guard coming across to kick out. Nice effort there by the Aggies. Keep that alive on 4th down.
Gerard Lewis saved the touchdown. Ball is on the 6 for Utah State. Opening drive. Utah State on the porch. High formation behind Jackson. Jackson gives it to Spate. He's wrapped up at the 5.
Those are tough yards in there, Jim, and they are really high on Spate. He had 67 yards last week against Utah and 99 in his debut against San Jose State. Coach Tomey known for a very good run defense. They're expecting big things from Spate.
Well, you see Spate going up in there. Leonard, from his linebacker position, tries to pull him back. Ball is inside the 4-yard line. 2nd down, goal to go for Utah State. They have moved it from the opening kickoff. In motion is Nelson. Ball is kept by Jackson. Throws into the end zone. Almost picked off. Almost intercepted. It may be. It was bouncing around. Now they say no. Incomplete pass. Everybody had a shot at it. That's for sure. Jacob Atkinson was the intended receiver for Utah State.
I think Amani Purcell had the best crack at it as it came back towards the line of scrimmage from the end zone right here.
Ball was kicked. And everybody had a shot at that ball to gather it in. 3rd down, goal to go for Utah State. Atkinson and Spade in the backfield. Jackson fakes the handoff to Spate, throws into the end zone, throws it out of bounds. Threw it too high. It was intended for Nelson. And that will bring up 4th down.
Great effort there by Jacob Patek on the blitz coming from the outside. just nails Jackson as he's throwing the ball.
So we'll see what Utah State does here. They're going to come in and try the field goal. Peter Caldwell is the field goal kicker. 6'4" freshman out of Kaysville, Utah. 7 for 9 in field goals. 38 his longest at UNLV. This is a 20-yarder, a chip shot. Ball is up, and it is good. Utah State strikes first. A 20-yard field goal gives them a 3-0 lead. 10:02 left to play in the first quarter.
At United Truck Rental, you can rent 15-passenger vans, cargo vans, 4x4 pickups, dump trucks, flatbed trucks, 14-foot high cube trucks, and boom trucks. We are Hawaii's official truck rental company with the lowest prices in town and no additional charge for mileage. United Truck Rental is excellent for all your moving and transportation needs. Schools, sports teams, and businesses have trusted United Truck Rental. We are locally owned and operated. United Truck Rental, Hawaii's official truck rental company. Rent me.
Closed.
What? But I need to do this today. What am I gonna do? Really?
Longer hours in more locations than any other bank in the islands. American Savings Bank.
Overpass. Doused at the net. Goes to Houston.
Gear up for fast-paced excitement as the Rainbow Wahine face off against the Bulldogs of Fresno State. Today at 5 on K5, the home team.
Utah State leading 3-0 following the opening drive, offensive drive, 20-yard field goal by Caldwell. Big play in that drive was a 30-yard run by Leon Jackson on 4th down. Keep the drive alive, as they say. Chris Ulinski will kick off for Utah State.
Good job by the Aggies getting down there and getting 3 points out of that drive.
Malcolm Lane and Michael Washington deep. This is Washington. Washington is tackled. Boy, what a tackle there by number 43, Kyle Gallagher, the linebacker, the freshman out of Woodland, California. He came knifing in.
Yeah, he looked like he came down untouched.
Excellent tackle. As they say, open field. We'd like to send our many alohas.
He was untouched.
Yep. To everyone watching tonight at K-Jazz in Salt Lake City, Utah, where we understand it snowed today. And rain intermittently here in Honolulu. First down for Hawaii. Ball is on the 19-yard line. Colt Brennan. First play from scrimmage against Utah State. Brennan looking left, throws. That is complete to Jason Rivers. Rivers on that particular play, making his 28th catch of the season. This is the offense for Hawaii. Asun Sa Tele, Estes, Sawafea, Steinhoff in that offensive front. And Rivers, Best, Grice Mullen, Hawthorne, Wright Jackson in the backfield, and Colt Brennan is the quarterback. Colt Brennan has been more than outstanding this year. 134 for 183 now. 1,634 yards, 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 407 yards of passing per game. So here comes Hawaii. Second down and 1. Something going on the field. They marked the ball for play. Hawaii trailing 3-0 to Utah State. Colt Brennan waiting for the snap. Gets it. Steps out of trouble. Now throws long. Off the hands of the intended receiver, Devon Bess. Inside the 30-yard line. Here's the defense for Utah State. Singleton, Miley, Bishop, Calderwood, then the linebackers, Hall, Hutton, and Igboli. And the defensive secondary, Murphy, Brinley, and the two brothers in that secondary for Utah State, Caleb Taylor and Joshua Taylor.
Good group of linebackers for the Aggies, Jim. They have 115 tackles between the three of them.
They are active. Rain now starting to come down with force here. It rained before the game twice, and now here it comes down in the first quarter. Brennan, quick pass. That is complete to Jason Rivers. Rivers is upended as he gets over the 35-yard line. That's enough for a first down. So Jason Rivers, who missed the last game and a half because of back spasms, welcome back to the lineup tonight.
Frank Miley gets in there untouched. That causes Colt to have to throw a little earlier than he probably wanted to.
This is what you were saying before the game. Get to Brennan. Make him throw quickly. Make him throw when he doesn't want to. Make him throw before the pattern ripens. First down for Hawaii. The ball is on the 37-yard line. David Farmer has come into the backfield along with Brennan. Triple wide receiver to the right. Brennan looking left. Now checks off. Looks over the middle. Nothing there. Steps out of trouble. Trying to run. Stumbles. Gets to the 40. Gets to the 41-yard line. That's a gain of 4 yards.
Well, that was a great effort by Colt Brennan just to get anything positive out of that, Jim. They had 5 rushers on that play, collapsed the pocket, and forced Colt to scramble.
Frank Miley, again, putting the pressure on. There you see a good block there by Farmer.
Coming all the way across from the other side.
Second down, and a long 6 for Hawaii. They trail in this game 3-0. Brennan again from the shotgun. Double wides. Brennan, quick pass. That is complete. Going for the first down. Dancing to midfield was Devon Bess. So Devon Bess comes into this game and makes his 37th reception. He has over 410 yards. He averages 7.2 receptions per game.
Yards after catch. Devon is so good with that.
Frank Miley there to make the stop. Miley has been ubiquitous so far early in the game. Ball is on the 49-yard line of Utah State. 8:06 left to play in quarter number 1. Triple wide receiver to the right. Brennan throws. That's complete. That pattern seems to be open in these early plays consistently. Ball went to Jason Rivers. Another catch. James Brindley and Paul Ingboli made the stop. Ingboli from Grand Prairie, Texas, a sophomore.
The important thing for the Warriors is they're being patient. They're looking to see what the Aggies are giving them, and then Colts diagnosing it and taking it. And as you said, Jim, they're running a flat, deep zone there, so it allows the receiver to get in between the two of them, between the flat and the deep zone, and make that catch.
They're going to measure for the first down. And it should be a first down. Let's see. It is. First down for Hawaii as they move the ball inside the 40-yard line of Utah State. So Brennan talking it over with June Jones. Mentioned before that June Jones going after his 70th win. So Brennan goes back to work. Farmer in the backfield with him in that shotgun. Utah State showing blitz. They do blitz 1. Brennan looks, throws over the middle. That's complete to Bryce Mullins at the 10, at the 5, and they just get him before the goal line. 38-yard pass. Caleb Taylor saved the touchdown.
You are not going to have a linebacker right here, Jake Hutton, cover a slot back like the Warriors have in wearing Bryce Mullins. It's just not going to happen. That's not a sound defense.
So the ball is placed inside the 1-yard line. 38-yard touchdown, potential touchdown sprint halted just before the end zone. Under center is Brennan. We saw a quarterback sneak last week at Utah. Polaris behind him. Ball is handed to Polaris, dives into the end zone. And that was choreographed as if it were on the Metropolitan Opera stage. Because Brennan stumbled coming away from center, had to leap.
If you look at Colt right now, he's limping a little bit off the field. The Utah State Aggies did what you call a submarine dive. All the defensive linemen came across, and one of them hit his foot. I don't know if that was his bad ankle or not, but he seems to be limping a little bit on the sideline.
And he's had that chronic ankle injury for the last 3 weeks. Kelly is in to give Hawaii a 7-3 lead, and he does. Concern for Colt Brennan. 7:01 left to play in the first quarter. Hawaii takes the lead for the first time.
Gosh, trip, train, draft and drink, innovative, draft and Heineken.
There's Mama's baby's here.
Are we having fun yet?
Yet we're having fun.
Don't you want to hold the ducky? Take the duck.
Splash just a little. There
One
you
more,
go.
come on.
Honey, you used to love this.
That was 20 years ago, Mom.
Sony Handycam camcorders, now in HD. For reliving your favorite moments in high definition, Sony camcorders capture life like no other.
When I was a kid, my dad, he used to smoke around me. He didn't know any better. The tobacco companies made smoking seem like, well, it was a part of everyday life. Except all the smoke made my asthma worse. So I made a promise. I would never put my kids through that once I became a father. Smoke-free. That's how our lives will be.
Central Pacific Bank sponsors the Loyalty Award by donating $100 for every touchdown Hawaii scores. Central Pacific Bank, fiercely loyal banking. Try this replay again. Apparently, Brennan was stepped on by one of his own players.
That's one of the things with that submarine technique. It looks like Steinhoff was actually playing guard.
Yeah, Steinhoff lined up as the guard, stepped on him when he came away from center. There's a lot of feet and ankles and knees in that scenario. But Brennan was able to dive and hand the ball off before his knee touch to Polaris, who in turn went airborne into the end zone, his second rushing touchdown of the year. Kicking off is Dan Kelly. Ball goes in the corner. With it is Robinson to the 30. Look out, Robinson could score. Robinson out in front, and no one is going to touch him. 100 yards. Kevin Robinson. We said he was dangerous. Kevin Robinson does it again. That is his second kickoff return for a touchdown. He had an 82-yarder earlier. He goes 100 yards, and he does it with ease. I don't know whether anyone touched him. Let's see. No.
Nice hold there, open by his blockers. He made a nice juke step on a safety, and it was all the way to the end zone.
So Utah State comes back shockingly quick. A 100-yard kickoff return by Kevin Robinson. Caldwell is in to kick out of the hold of Jackson. It is placed. It is kicked. And it is good. It is now 10-7 in favor of Utah State. And for all intents and purposes, we're in for a battle.
I learned early from my coaches that success comes from a lot of hard work. Then about 2 years ago, I thought my career might be over because of extreme pain in my shoulder. I couldn't practice. I could hardly even compete. I could have gone to any surgeon in the country, but I came to trust the bone and joint specialist at Straub because a coach of mine is one of them. They treated my shoulder, and now with their help, I'm back. When it really mattered, I chose Straub.
In the Hawaiian heat, you can taste the intrigue.
What's the beef, dude? Flame broiled, tough guy.
And the action sizzles.
Nice buns, baby.
Tell it to the judge, Pickles.
Come on, give me a break, Junior.
It's Whopper Junior, baby.
The Whopper Junior, part of the BK value menu, just $1.49 at Burger King.
Makes me hungry. For justice? Nah, just hungry.
Let the comfort of a futon put you in paradise. The Honolulu Futon Company. Your home, your look. Customize your furniture. Relax in comfort. Let the new Aloha mattress keep you cool. Made with aloe fibers exclusively for Hawaii. Exclusively made for you. Honolulu Futon Company. Your home, your look. Customize your furniture.
Our Geico quote of the game comes from Utah State head coach Brent Guy. Earlier this week, he spoke about a focus for the game against Hawaii and said, quote, "We've got to get back to what we do best on special teams, and that is get ourselves field position and make them play a long field," unquote. I think the best thing they could do on special teams is just get the ball to Robinson, huh, Jim?
Robinson ran well, to say the least. But you have to credit the team. Robinson put on the afterburner. And the Hawaii special team on the kickoff looked very porous indeed. Olinsky kicks off. Ball will go to Michael Washington. Washington at the 20. Washington outside to the 40. Down he goes, and a penalty flag comes flying in from long distance.
That's one of the furthest flags I've seen thrown.
So we'll see. Perhaps holding.
Holding. Number 26 on the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Michael Lau called for holding. There was perhaps holding there, but it wasn't 26. It was Timo Paipule. Anyway, trotting back out, and he looks like any kind of contact has gone away. He looks 100% again as Colt Brennan. Brennan has to go to work because of the penalty back at the 15-yard line. Hawthorne has come into the game. Farmer is in the backfield. Farmer usually, when he is in the backfield, provides the blocking. In motion is Grice Mullins. Mullins on a reverse, has a hole, and is tripped up at the 20. Oh, he had possibilities there. It looked like he was on the on-ramp to the freeway. But James Brindley said, no, not here, not now. Brindley, a 5'10 sophomore, 191-pounder from Grass Valley, California.
That was a nice-looking play right there by the Warriors, bringing him on the reversed right over here. And you'll see him come back around.
And here comes Brindley.
One player to beat.
Gain on the play of 5, 2nd and 5. The ball just over the 20-yard line. Ball is given to Pilares. Struggles close to the first down, but he is short. 5:51 left to play in the first quarter. Utah State leading 10-7. Paul Igboli there to make the stop. Those three linebackers, as we mentioned, very, very active. Devon Hall, Jake Hutton, and Paul Igboli. Hall leads the team in tackles with 44. Hutton is second, and Igboli is third. Big play here, 3rd down and 2. Brennan from the shotgun. Brennan with time throws, and he throws it perhaps a little too quickly, but he threw it behind Jason Rivers, and Hawaii will have to punt. Or will they? No, they'll punt it away.
Soft coverage there by the Aggies out on the edges. Marquis Charles, there was the corner on the coverage, and could have easily been a completion, just was a little bit off.
Kevin Robinson will go back. You see his punt return numbers. And there's Grasso. Grasso from Kaysville, Utah. And also Saddleback Junior College. Grasso gets it high. Coming down, taken by Robinson. And Robinson is ankle tackled from behind. Good one-on-one open field tackle that time. And it appears to be Hawthorne. C.J. Hawthorne on the special teams.
Number 11, Terrell Richards for the Aggies actually comes in underneath the block and gets close to the block point on the punt, but backs off at the last minute not to get the roughing the kicker. That's something that will have to be addressed by the Warriors.
This is a point in the game where Utah State can really make a statement, where Utah State can capture the momentum. They lead 10-7. The quarterback is Leon Jackson III. Spate is in the backfield, single backfield. In motion, the tight end. They give it to Spate. Spate is hit by Elimimian. Gain on the play of only 1.
Great read by Solomon Elimimian on the down block, stepping up into the hole.
You see the isolation, and right away, Elimimian senses the play, and he comes in and belts Spate. Blaise Suarez has come into the game, number 53. Suarez, one of the linebackers. 2nd down and 9. High snap. Caught, however, by Jackson. Throws it out of bounds. Crowd wants intentional grounding. Referees may discuss this. It appears as if he just wanted to get rid of it. That was his only option. And it may be intentional grounding.
That was actually the play before.
See what the call is here. Here's Bill.
Intentional grounding. Number 7. Ball replaced at the spot of the foul. Lost it down. 3rd down.
Here's the play. It's high snap.
And he just got rid of it.
He actually threw that left-handed.
Yeah. Yes.
You talk about getting rid of a ball.
That's the first ambidextrous intentional grounding I think I've ever seen. 3rd down now for Utah State. It will be 3rd and 14. And the ball is on the 43-yard line. Big 3rd down play here for Utah State. They come out in double wides. Jackson lays it off, and they'll pass it on that lateral. Man is open. He's got it. And that is Robinson from Burrell. And the only question here is whether the pass was a backwards pass, was a lateral. Oh, you talk about razzle-dazzle.
I think there's a flag on the play.
There is a flag on the play.
5-yard penalty in the offense.
See?
We're down.
But it has nothing to do with the play. The penalty
they took too long.
Yeah, they just took too long.
They wasted that special play.
But I mean, you talk about the intestinal fortitude to call that play. Remember what we said about momentum, that this is the point of this first quarter where Utah State can really get Hawaii to start double thinking. 4:15 left. Delay of game. That cancels a touchdown. Ball is given to Atkinson. He's bumped by one of his own men, and down he goes. That'll bring up 4th down. And Utah State will have to punt it away. Robinson, by the way, passes Kendall Smith, who played way back in 1985 and 88 for number 2 on the career all-purpose yards list. That was because of that 100-yard kickoff return.
Well, that's one of the more costly penalties we've seen so far this season, Jim, that delay a game. Taking 6 points off the board for the Aggies.
I thought it had more to do with was the pass judged backwards. Apparently everything was okay with the play. They get it off too late. Here's Bess backing up inside the 15-yard line. Gets a block. Tries to get to the 20, and then he is covered up and forced back by the white shirts. First down for Hawaii. Hawaii not getting exactly good field position here in this first half. 47-yard punt, only a 5-yard return by Devon Bess.
Well,
so Hawaii has to go back to work.
You have to be impressed with the Aggies, the way they're playing in the first 12 minutes of this game so far. They're not playing like they're 0-5. They're playing like they can come in here and they can win this game.
So Hawaii goes back to work with the ball at the 18-yard line. Rivers is flanked to the far side. Hawthorne to the near side. Triple wide receiver to the left. That's Bess and Grice Mullins. Kealoha Polaris in the backfield along with Colt Brennan. 1st and 10. Brennan steps up in the pocket, now throws. That is complete. Good crossing pattern that time to C.J. Hawthorne. And that time you saw Brennan at his best, waiting until that pattern ripened. And he really was able to force that ball in there. That was a line drive shot. 21-yard gain and a first down.
He was at his best, Jim, because the offensive line gave him plenty of time to decide and make his reads and decide to throw it to C.J. Hawthorne coming across, like you said. Great job by the offensive line on that play.
Ball at the 39-yard line. First down for Hawaii. They trail in this game 10-7 with 3:03 left to play in the first quarter. Brennan waiting for the snap. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up. Brennan goes sideline. That's caught at the 49 by C.J. Hawthorne. Excellent tackle by Joshua Taylor. Taylor, the junior out of Corona, California.
The Aggies in a 4-3 already have 4 down linemen rushing every play. They walk a linebacker up on that play to show blitz, and they bring another player on a delayed blitz. 6 players. That means they're in man-to-man coverage.
What's interesting is that the DBs, Caleb and Joshua Taylor, were high school teammates of offensive lineman Lafu Tuiotu Mariner at Corona High School in California. Quick pass. That is complete. And with it is Devon Bess. And Bess carries it inside the 40-yard line to the 39. That's another first down. So Hawaii moving. 12-yard gain. Paul Igbole there to make the stop. Igbole, another tackle for Utah State.
Nice job of pivoting right there. Getting yards after catch.
Excellent effort by Bess. David Farmer comes back into the backfield along with Brennan. Grice Mullins in motion. They give it to Mullins again, looking for blocking, goes nowhere. That play has not worked twice. It shows possibilities, however. Paul Igbole showed up on the perimeter and really ambushed Grice Mullins.
The Aggies actually had penetration there on the Warriors' left-hand side. When you have penetration like that, you're not going to be able to run a reverse.
And they were not. Excellent play that time by Utah State. Igbole credited with that tackle. 10-7, Utah State. 2nd down and 13. The ball on the 42. Brennan throws. That is complete to Bess. And Bess is just kind of semi-horse-collared as he tried to turn at the boundary. He was able to carry it inside the 42, the 37-yard line. Brindley there to make the stop for Utah State. Bank of Hawaii recognizes excellence on the play, on the field of play, and tonight we'll be selecting a member from each team as the game's most valuable players, sponsored by Bank of Hawaii.
Well, Jim, the Aggies have moved into a 3-4 defense, showing the Warriors a different look.
Malcolm Lane has come into the game as a wide receiver. He is flanked to the right, to the near side. Brennan looking, looks long, still looking. Now throws, shorter pattern, intended for Lane. The ball off his fingertips. You could see him going through his progressions, and all of a sudden on a crossing pattern about 20 yards up the field was Lane, and the ball unable to be completed.
Big hit by Caleb Taylor, knocking the ball loose. Or making sure he didn't catch it, one or the other.
Tim Grasso has come in. No, not Grasso. It's going to be the field goal kicker, Dan Kelly, to tie the game. This is a 54-yard field goal attempt. Are you kidding me? 54 yards. There's the kick. It has the distance. It's good. That's a career-high kick. Dan Kelly just continues to amaze. And you know something? He wasn't kidding. He actually kicked it that far. And he had much more room to go.
That could have been 60.
What a kick. He put everything into that. That is perfect. That's right down the middle.
That could have been 65.
That ties the game at 10. Watch this effort again by Dan Kelly.
Look at the focus and concentration right there.
Little body English, but not much. Little headbutt to Grasso. Coming back is Paipule. 54-yard field goal.
That really pumps up the Warrior offense and the team in general to know that you can score from that far away and get points.
Kelly is now 5 for 7 in field goals. His previous longest was 49, and that was to win the game against Louisiana Tech. We are tied at 10. Don't stand in line to purchase UH tickets. Buy your individual game tickets online and print them on your home or office computer. Purchasing UH tickets has never been easier. Visit HawaiiAthletics.com for more information. So we're even with 45 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The ever-dangerous Kevin Robinson is deep, along with Aaron Lasway. Kicking off is Kelly. Kelly puts it 1 yard deep in the end zone, and here comes Robinson again. They try to pin him to the sideline, and this time he gets out to about the 29, maybe the 30.
Much better job of the Warrior kickoff team keeping their lanes and using the sideline as the 12th man, which is how it's designed. How they actually run down on the kickoffs is they have the kicker kick over to the left side near the sideline, and they want to pin the runner up against that sideline and use it as a 12th man.
39 seconds left in quarter number 1. So Hawaii will try to stop this very innovative Utah State offense. Jackson comes out. Spate is behind him. Jackson hands the ball up the middle to Spate, weaves into the secondary, gets out over the 30 all the way to the 38-yard line. That's an excellent run and great blocking up front. 12-yard gain for Spate.
You can see how Spate does a very good job of just moving and finding the opening, and that's why they're so high on him. Look at that. He gets another 5-7 yards after initial contact, just sticking his head down and moving forward.
Carl Noah finally caught up with him. First down at their own 39-yard line. Dervin Spate, single setback. They overload the left side. They fake it to Spate. With the ball is Jackson. Jackson now throws. It is complete. Coming back for it is Nelson. So great scrambling that time. You talk about ad-libbing. Jackson would not succumb. And Nelson had the wherewithal to realize that Jackson was in trouble, so he came back for the reception. Gain on the play, you can see close to 7.
You can see Carl Noah keeping contained, trying to keep Jackson from getting outside and being able to have a run-pass option.
Adam Leonard and Myron Newberry made the tackle on Nelson. So here comes Utah State again. Nelson to the far side. In motion goes Robinson. Ball is kept by Jackson. Throws, that's complete to the tight end, and he is covered up. Will Fossil able to gather in the reception. He's from an interesting place, Shingle Springs, California, 6'3" senior. First quarter is in the books. We are tied at 10.
Convenience, value, service, and community.
The cleanest facility, 24-hour access, covered unloading, high-tech security, free pickup, the best customer service, and the list goes on.
Convenience, value, service, and community. For yourself, storage.
To illustrate the speed of Hawaiian Telcom's new 11 meg high-speed internet, we'll carry out this experiment. Let's commence. Good show. A download speed of 11 megs was reached in 1 second. And now, upload. Brilliant! Their 1 meg upload speed is also Hawaii's fastest. It's official. Hawaiian Telcom has the fastest internet in Hawaii with speeds of up to 11 megs. To connect, call 643-0805 or visit hawaiiantel.com. Are you ready for the speed?
Like golf? Then you're going to love the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail courses in North Alabama. And while you're here, check out the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville. Spend a weekend with us, and you'll discover some of the best golf on the planet. Or anywhere else, for that matter. For more information, visit 800alabama.com.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What do you see? Medical Spa and Skincare Hawaii offers advanced, non-surgical, physician-directed skin treatments with superior results. Improve brown spots, acne scarring, and wrinkles with virtually no downtime. Visit our state-of-the-art facility at the Ala Moana Building. Call Medical Spa and Skincare Hawaii at 237-3668.
It's back. The irresistibly sweet taste of McDonald's Haupia Pie, made with creamy coconut filling and a crispy golden brown pastry.
I'm loving it.
The perfect treat for all the home games. Click on BigIslandCandies.com to try the new Kohala Brownie Assortment.
We are tied at 10 as we begin the second period, looking at June Jones trying for his 70th victory as Hawaii's coach. This is his 9th year. Leon Jackson, 3 for 5 in passing, 15 yards.
You got to be impressed with how the Aggies have approached this game and how they've played through the first quarter. 10-10 tie. Playing very motivated.
During the break, the officials measured, and it's about, less than a yard. Third down, less than a yard for the first down. Jackson, single setback behind him. That's Spate. Jackson, quarterback sneak, and that is the first down at midfield. So Utah State, under Coach Brent Guy, lost to UNLV, lost to Wyoming and Oklahoma and San Jose State, and last week they lost to Utah. But here tonight, they have played the 16th ranked or 15th ranked, whatever poll you look at, Warriors of Hawaii, even through the first quarter. Nelson is flanked to the left. To the near side comes Terrell Richards, just into the game, number 11. Richards comes back toward the middle in motion, and the ball is given to Spate, looking for running room, trying to probe that secondary. Terrell Richards, who just came into the game as a senior.
Well, not only are they successfully moving the ball, Jim, they're eating up the clock. This is one of the fewest plays that we've seen so far this year. Utah State only had 16 plays in the first quarter, and Hawaii only 17. Normally, it would be up around 20 to 25 per team.
They come out in a double tight end alignment. Jackson looking, throws. That is complete to the tight end, Fausel. And Fausel down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Myron Newberry finally forced him out of bounds. A 20-yard pickup for Utah State. So Utah State has come into this game, and they have come in well prepared.
That was actually a flood route. They had a player go short in the flat, one go medium, and one go deep. Hawaii had only 2 players to cover.
So you see Robinson adding.
Respect Robinson going long.
Yep. Robinson adding to the water level on that last play. Ball is given to Spate up the middle, and he's able to step into the secondary. Good yardage on first down from the 27 inside the 25-yard line. Francis Maka, number 98 for Hawaii, making the tackle. Maka from San Mateo, California, went to the College of San Mateo. Now Richards comes back into the game along with Atkinson for Utah State. Second down. Spate and Atkinson in the I formation. Second down and 5 from the 22. Falling down was Jackson, pulling away from center.
It looked like it was Brendan McFadden, number 61, that sort of stepped on him, a la the Keone Steinhoff, Colt Brennan thing earlier in the first quarter for the Warriors. Yeah, he pretty much just ran right over him.
Third down. So a big play here for Utah State. Nelson to the far side. In motion is Robinson. Pass to Robinson, one-on-one. Robinson to the 20, short of the first down. That will bring up fourth down, 4th and 2. Solomon Ilamimian inside out, searching, and finally catching up with Robinson. So now what does Coach Guy do?
Well, you got to kick it. I think that was a great job getting the ball into your best player, seeing if you could get a first down out of it. But at this point, 10-10 tie, second quarter, you go for the 3 points.
37-yard attempt. Caldwell out of the hold of Jackson. Trying to break the 10-10 tie. That ball on the way. That's good. 13-10. Utah State with 11:38 left to play in the half.
Rob, I'll get right to it. You're great, and I want you to lead the chicken team. Your first order of business will be my Chipotle Chicken Ciabatta Sandwich. Your choice of a spicy, crispy, or grilled chicken breast with a Chipotle sauce served on lightly toasted ciabatta bread.
Thanks, Jack. Pick the right guy. I am your chicken man.
Rob, you got the job. Cool it.
At Chiroplan Hawaii, we're specialists in you.
You're the one.
You're the reason we're locally owned and managed.
You're the reason we have more than 60 clinics statewide.
You're the reason our care is affordable.
You're the reason we care for you like family.
At Chiroplan Hawaii, we're specialists in you.
This is Sharon. She's always busy picking up the kids, going to the gym, or meeting with clients. As responsible as she is, accidents sometimes happen. But Island Insurance is always here to help. With the Island Certified Auto Repair Shop program, Sharon can rest assured that her repairs will be handled at an industry-leading facility, so she can get back on the road and do what she does best. Remind you of anyone? Island Insurance, always here to help.
$13 for Utah State and a 10 for Hawaii. Nakoa Football is the official booster club of the University of Hawaii Warriors. For more information on the Nakoa Football Club, please call 956-4513 or visit them online at www.nakoa.org. Ulinski kicking off. Washington and Lane come up for it. It is Lane to the 20. Lane over the 30 to the 40, and now it's a race. To the 40, to the 30. They are not going to catch him. 87-yard kickoff return. Turnabout is fair play.
He's going to make a juke step on number 14, Otis Nelson, for the Aggies. Right there. And that's it. It's all over. Taking it to the house, Malcolm Lane.
That's the second kickoff return for a touchdown. His first 94 yards against Northern Colorado. Kelly in to try the point after. And it is good. And Hawaii answers back in kind. 17-13, Hawaii.
Everyone that lives in Hawaii should feel fortunate. Everything here in Hawaii is lush and beautiful. I like my life. This is what I do. This is how I live. This is Hawaii. Hawaii is my home. Bud Light, it's always worth it.
There's Mama's baby's here.
Are we having fun yet? Yet we're having fun. Don't you want to hold the ducky? Take the duck.
Splash just a little. There
One
you
more,
go.
come on.
Honey, you used to love this.
That was 20 years ago, Mom.
Sony Handycam camcorders, now in HD. For reliving your favorite moments in high definition, Sony camcorders capture life like no other.
Want to bring home a couple of UH fans? This could be you.
Hey, Auntie, hey, pack your bags as you flying down here to Hawaii for one choice weekend of UH games. That's right. Right here in the stands. Yeah, we're going Wahine volleyball, men's basketball, warrior football too, baby. Oh, yeah, the tickets from K5 the home team. We have 5 nights hotel from the Hawaii Prince. And you flying down here on Aloha Airlines.
Bring them home with Aloha for the team. Enter at K5thehometeam.com. Aloha Airlines with convenient service between the islands and to the west coast.
Get busy. Find your next job at JobLink 8, only at KHNL.com.
It's time for the Price Busters Fan Cam. You can log on to K5thehometeam.com and click on the Price Busters Fan Cam icon to enter to win a $25 gift certificate to Price Busters. Say hello to Good Buys. Hawaii leading 17-13 in a real teeter-totter affair. Kicking off will be Kelly. Deep is Kevin Robinson. Kelly kicks off away from Robinson. And that ball goes to LeSueur. And LeSueur comes up the left side, still on his feet. Finally, he's bumped out of bounds. LeSueur showing some good balance. And he thanks all the tacklers that tried to tackle him.
Just being a gentleman.
Thank you, fellas. Thank you. So Utah State, who has been effective offensively against Hawaii, will start again and with good field position at their own 31-yard line. So Nelson will come out, and he is to the far side. They come out in a double tight end arrangement. Robinson to the near side. Shotgun, Jackson, and Spate. Jackson throws. That is complete to Nelson. And Nelson runs up the sideline from the 31 to about the 37.
When you run a pro type offense where they run a tailback and a fullback and a tailback, you're looking for 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5. That's about the best positioning that you can have on second down. And that's what the Aggies are looking at right here.
Second down, a long 4. Newberry credited with the tackle on that play. Double wide receiver to the right. In motion is Spate. Empty backfield. Jackson will run. Comes off the edge. Turns back, however, into the pursuit. He is close to the first down. 11:04 left in the first half.
That was a design play right there. They were counting on the Warriors being in man-to-man, but Solomon Aluminium wasn't. Great effort by Solomon coming up and stopping Jackson, although he did get the first down.
Amani Purcell in the mix master on that last play. First down for Utah State. The ball at the 42-yard line, their own 42. Jackson and Spade in the backfield. Jackson looking, throws for Robinson. It is incomplete. Good coverage on the play that time by Hawaii. Coverage by Gerard Lewis, 5'9" senior from Houston, Texas, out of Tyler Junior College.
Well, certainly the Hawaii defensive backs have been watching Robinson closely. They knew how good he was coming into tonight's game. And through the first quarter, all he had was one reception for 6 yards. And they're doing their best to hold him down.
Well, he puts in 5 defensive backs on second down and long yardage. The ball at the Utah State 42. Ball is handed on a delay to Spate. Look out, close to the midfield stripe. Boy, he just exploded into the secondary. Adam Leonard, Solomon Aluminium, 2 top tacklers there to force him to the turf. Good gain on the play.
Traditional draw play right there, letting the rushers take one side, and you see Spate coming up into the opening.
Big third down play. They come out in another formation. They go to the eye. Atkinson and Spate. Jackson rolls. Jackson still with the ball. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. Fale Laele, 6'1" junior out of Honolulu and St. Louis School.
That finally
makes a stop. Fourth down now for Utah State.
That looked like it was an option play there, Jim, but the Warrior defensive line on their left side got so much penetration, he had no options.
They're going to go for it on fourth down.
Well,
Spate and Jackson in the backfield, they may have taken too much time. No, Hawaii calls timeout. This Utah State right now driving Hawaii's defense just a little crazy. 9:20 left to play in the first half.
The bigger Hawaii becomes, the more we need the little things that keep us together. Things you can fit in the palm of your hand or next to your heart. The times when we connect person to person. The little acts of compassion, people helping people. As we grow, it's nice to know that Hawaii's health plan is here to take care of the little things that make all the difference in the world. HMSA, working for a healthier Hawaii.
In my younger days, I made lots of mistakes. I hung out with the wrong people. Got into some bad habits. I neglected my relationships. The drinking was the worst. Now more. I take better care of myself. Things are looking up.
Kaiser Permanente. Thrive.
This exclusive sports presentation of the home team is sponsored by Hawaiian Telcom. With speeds up to 11 megabytes per second, Hawaiian Telcom high-speed internet is now Hawaii's fastest internet. Sign up today and get your first month free.
So, following the timeout, here is Leon Jackson in punt formation. He is a punter, and he averages 42.4 yards a punt. That's second in the conference. Newberry is deep for the punt. Excellent hang time. Newberry calling, and he fair catches it on the 13-yard line. So again, Hawaii starting with very poor field position, 38-yard punt, and no return. So Utah State showing so many facets to their offense. And Hawaii has been back on their heels for a good amount of time here in the first half.
You got to give the Aggies credit. They sure are mixing it up on offense, Jim, as you're saying.
So first down for Hawaii. Ball is inside the 15-yard line on the 14. Brennan will go to work. Pilares back there with him. They overload the left side with 3 wide receivers. Shovel pass, Pilares tripped up. Excellent play. Excellent play that time by the defense, Paul Igboli.
We can tell that the Aggies are practicing that. Paul Igboli comes right up to make the play on that shovel pass.
Second down, no gain on that play. Now they bring in the 3 wide receivers toward the center of the field. They don't spread the field as much. The pass is complete to Bryce Mullins. Mullins trying to dance out of trouble. Can't do it. Short gain on the play. That'll bring up a big third down play.
That was an excellent job by Colt Brennan. The Aggies brought the house. They blitzed the linebacker, number 53, Hutton. And we're wondering if there's a face mask.
Right there.
Obvious face mask.
Obvious face mask. And Bryce Mullins was complaining to the official about it. But the official says that his appointment with the optometrist isn't until Monday. The 2 Taylor brothers combining on that play. Third down, long yardage. Third down, about 6.5. They come out in the double wides. Brennan steps up, throws, coming back to get it, and making the catch is C.J. Hawthorne. And Hawthorne has enough yardage for the first down. So Hawaii converts on first downs, and in third down conversions this season, Hawaii is at 46%.
Aggies switch back to a 3-man front there, dropping everybody, and pay for giving Colt Brennan a lot of time. Nice job by C.J. Hawthorne coming back towards the ball, as all good receivers are taught.
First down for Hawaii at the 27-yard line. Brennan dancing, now throws, and throws behind the receiver. Throws behind Jason Rivers. So somebody was running something wrong, or Brennan was mistaken in his reads.
I'm also wondering, Jim, if there was a possibility of Rivers thinking Colt was getting in trouble, so he broke off his route.
Could be.
And Brennan threw to where he was supposed to be before he broke it off.
Brennan, 12 of 16, 137 yards now. His longest was that 38-yarder to Bryce Mullins in the first quarter. Second down and 10. Ball at the 27. Brennan looking, now throws. That is complete. Good catch by Jason Rivers for the first down at the 41-yard line. You can see how Brennan can zip the ball in there. 14-yard gain. Joshua Taylor and Caleb Taylor making the double-team tackle that time. And so it is first down at the 41-yard line for Hawaii here in the second period. And they come out in the double wides. Utah State stunting. Ball is thrown long, and it is caught inside the 25-yard line by Ryan Bryce Mullins. There were 2 receivers on that, 2 possibilities. And Brennan chose Bryce Mullins up the sideline. Another 38-yard connection.
That was actually Number 3 getting caught up, Marquise Charles. He had help on the inside, but he was cheating to the inside, and that allowed Brian Grice-Mullen to make the catch on the sideline there.
Marquise Charles, the junior out of Los Angeles and Dorsey High School. So Ryan Grice-Mullins lines up again. Hawaii threatening. They are just a yard out of the red zone at the 21-yard line against Utah State. Here comes the blitz. Ball is given on a sweep. Spinning out of trouble is Polaris, and then down he goes. And again, it was Igboli. First contact slowed him up, and then Igboli came in to spin him to the turf. Loss on the play of 1. 2nd down and 11.
See Jason coming up on the inside there. Excuse me, Paul Igboli.
So Igboli able to roll him. 2nd down and 11. Hawaii comes out 3 wide receivers to the right. This is where the yards get tough. Brennan back to pass. With time, throws into the end zone all alone. Touchdown, Devon Bess. 22-yard touchdown pass.
It looked like Caleb Taylor fell down, and that was pretty much game over.
That ball thrown right into the end zone, and I don't know whether Brennan could believe it or Bess could believe it, but that ball delivered right on the money. So Colt Brennan, his 16th touchdown pass of the year. And for Devon Bess, as far as receptions are concerned, that's his 6th touchdown reception. So with 5:42, as Kelly tacks on the PAT, Hawaii now leads 24-13.
TikTok, you don't stop. It's the K5.
We really need your help to promote our new block of comedies on K5 The Home Team. Create a commercial that promotes any one or all of these shows. Selected entries will air on K5, and winners will receive Roadrunner high-speed internet service, video games from Toys and Joys, or a Steinlager surfboard. Log on to K5TheHomeTeam.com for more details. Save Power 104.3 and K5 The Home Team.
Please think about it.
It's every day. You're getting to the job on weekdays, doing everything else on the weekends. That's your life. So get into Hawaii's do-it-all vehicle, Toyota RAV4. Fill it with the kids and all their gear. Beat the rush hour traffic with the available V6, the one that sips gas like a 4-cylinder. And right now, the RAV4 and every 2007 Toyota SUV and truck is on sale at their lowest prices ever. The Haul It, Move It clearance sale at your Toyota dealers of Hawaii. Happening now, but not for long.
It hasn't been easy trying to find a spokescreature to tell you about hammock. I mean, with the duck and the gecko already taken, well, how many talking animals are there?
I got one.
Fortunately, it's a lot easier to find the best workers' compensation insurer for your business. Just ask your agent or go to hammock.com. Competitive rates, free safety programs, and fraud prevention. Why dig around when Hammock is your best value?
Hammock, Hawaii's workers' comp specialist.
This look at the UH Record Book is sponsored by Public Storage with 8 convenient locations in Hawaii. Of particular interest here, Devon Bess has just moved into 3rd place in touchdowns, 35 career touchdowns in 31 games. He trails Michael Carter and then Chad Owens.
You see him sitting there on the bench, all his teammates coming up and congratulating him for that great catch in the wide open end zone.
That is the 109th career touchdown for Brennan. You see the 2 connectors right there, Brennan and Devon Bess. Kicking off is Dan Kelly. Robinson. Ball is captured by Robinson, rather by Lachey. Let's see, who had that ball?
I think it was number 43.
That was a different guy.
Kyle Gallagher, I think.
And there you see him, Gallagher. Gallagher came up. We were watching both receivers. Gallagher came up, and he's the one that ran it back.
You heard the crowd getting really excited about something. I assume that's Kelly getting blocked.
Kelly getting blocked and then claimed that it was a crime. 5:35 left to play in the first half. Leon Jackson goes back to work. Hawaii now leading 24-13. Utah State tries to respond here. They come out in the I formation. Atkinson there, along with Spate. Ball is given on a sweep to the near side. With it is Robinson. And Robinson goes from the line of scrimmage, the 39, only to the 40. David Veikuni there to make the stop. Veikuni
looks like Kevin Robinson might be hurt.
Yeah. Comes into the game, number 94. Veikuni out of Wahiawa, Campbell High School, went to Fresno Community College. And there you see the final moments of that play. Could be a knee injury. And of concern to Jackson, because Leon Jackson is such an important, not only but Robinson, I believe. Robinson is such an important cog in this offense. Jackson appears to be okay. So Robinson is not in the game. And we'll see if that has vast implications here. From the shotgun, Jackson throws over the middle. That's complete to the tight end, Fausel. And Fausel able to turn and then clomp for good yardage. 15-yard gain and a first down.
Second nice catch there for Fausel. He had one in the first quarter for 21 yards. 20 yards.
First down at the 45-yard line of Hawaii. Jackson to run. Jackson inside the 40 and keeps his feet churning.
That's that design quarterback draw that we saw earlier where it's sort of a trap. The guard pulls on the inside to clear a hole. Probably trying to be creative with Robinson still out, I believe.
So they're looking very gingerly at Robinson's knee. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Robinson is such a terrific player. Second down and 2 after that run by Jackson. Jackson under center. Turns, gives the ball to Spate. He's into the secondary and inside the 30-yard line all the way to the 28. Gerard Lewis made the stop.
Well, you can see why Coach Guy likes Dervin Spate. He's showing signs of becoming a very good runner. Getting about 4 or 5 yards there after initial contact.
That's enough for the first down. Now Utah State has it at the 29-yard line of Hawaii. Double wide receiver to the near side. Ball again is given to Spate. Spate is grabbed, tossed back, fumble occurs. Hawaii may have it. And they do. They just grabbed Spate as he went into the line and threw him backwards.
It looked like Joshua Leonard came up with the ball, but I think, if I had to guess, I was Solomon Elamimian on the initial hit.
So we'll take another look here. And it could be Purcell coming in. There you see the handoff to Spate. Gets in there, and then Purcell right. Grabs him and then kind of twists him back, and the ball just pops out. There you see the ball on the ground. Joshua Leonard making the recovery. Hawaii trying to take advantage of the turnover now with 3:30 left to play. Coming around the near side is the quarterback, and he gets hit. And the crowd wants to hit out of bounds, but no flag.
But he's right back up.
Igbole came over and belted him. No gain on the play. Here's Colt Brennan.
That's awful close.
Yeah, that's way out of bounds, I believe. So it is second down.
He was clearly heading towards the sideline. That's when you're supposed to let up. Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah, and they went for the ankles.
That is no good.
2nd down and 8. Brennan still with it. He's going to run again. Brennan finally ankle tackled as he gets to the 39-yard line. You know, with an ankle injury, and he's running like this, I mean, you start palpitating after a while.
I got to tell you, I was palpitating on that one out of bounds.
Jake Sutton made the tackle, and the penalty on the play, holding. So that will back Hawaii up. Back to the 24-yard line. 3:18 left to play in the first half. David Farmer has come back in to the backfield. Farmer, the most effective of the blockers. We have not seen Leon Wright Jackson in the backfield tonight for Hawaii. 2nd down, 18 yards for the first down. Brennan back to pass. Throws over the middle, and that could be interference. And it is. Joshua Taylor riding on the back of Jason Rivers.
A lot of pressure on those corners and safeties and man-to-man coverage. And Joshua just overplays it right there.
Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul.
And there you see
automatic first down.
The contact and then the ball arriving. So Joshua Taylor called for the interference. So we've had holding that moved Hawaii back, interference that moved Hawaii back up again to the 34-yard line, automatic first down. 2:56 left to play in the first half. Hawaii leading 24-13. Utah State has played a remarkable game. They came in as much as 39-point underdogs. 39. Brennan is forced to the turf. Brennan unable to pick up his receivers that time, and credit the secondary of Utah State. And this offensive line tonight, Brennan has really had to scramble.
Boy, Frank Miley's got a motor. He's actually coming around on the outside on a stunt and just stays with it and gets his hands on the back of Brennan. We've said his name several times so far this evening.
2nd down and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Hawaii here in the second half. Brennan dancing, directing traffic. Now throws long. It is incomplete. Some bumping going on, and a flag has come in.
That was face guarding, I believe, but you know, the Aggie defensive backfield has been doing a good job on coverage. Colt had all day long and still had a hard time trying to find somebody. But when the ball is being thrown, you can't just keep on running into the receiver and blocking his opportunity to catch the ball. And I believe that's what the call will be.
Joshua Taylor, yet another time.
Pass interference, number 23 defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Take another gander.
You watch Colt Brennan there. He's actually telling the receivers what to do. He was flicking his arm out, letting the receiver know that he was going to throw the ball more to the outside.
So the 2 interference penalties move the ball to midfield. Automatic first down again for Hawaii. Triple wide receiver to the right. Brennan looking right. Quick pass. That's complete to Bryce Mullins. Breaks one tackle, looking for help. Breaks another tackle. Down he goes. Marquise Charles finally chased him to the boundary. Short gain on the play, but the effort is worthy of note. You see the 2 slots, Grace Mullen and Devon Bess. Bess with a touchdown reception in this game.
I actually saw the Warriors practicing that play yesterday. It's like a double out. 2 receivers go about 5 to 7 yards up and turn out, forcing the DB to cover only one of them.
2nd down and 7. The ball at the 47-yard line of Utah State. pass. That's complete. That was thrown behind Jason Rivers. Rivers had to twist his body and then make the reception. So an excellent play by Rivers. At times, Rivers has been spectacular. Very close to the first down. It is a first down at the 40-yard line of Utah State. 1 minute, 11 seconds left. Hawaii would love to push a touchdown here. They lead 24-13.
That would make a big difference for both teams, Jim, if they scored again coming out of the second half.
Brennan again. Looking. Dancing, now throws. That's complete. And spinning with it is C.J. Hawthorne. And Brennan, Brennan is down. That is something you did not want to see. The way he was running, that was taking an awful chance.
Yeah, they sort of sandwiched hit him high and low. Just the way it worked out was they were trying to tackle him.
Paul Igboli. There you see him. And then finally gets the ball, and then as soon as he releases it, Igboli really lowers the boom on him. And it may not be his ankle. May not.
Yeah, so you had the one player coming from behind the back of his knee and the other one coming over the top.
As you see, Tyler Graunke warming up, backup quarterback for Hawaii. And great concern here for Colt Brennan. Great concern. And it could be that ankle again.
The thing that's tough about taking a hit like that is that it actually causes a lot of stress potentially on the knee from where the person's hitting you from behind. As a person hits you from the top, a lot of stress potentially on that knee joint.
Here's another look. Oh, there you see the first one. First one got to his knees, and then he went down. But he has gotten to his feet. He was really belted.
He seems to be walking pretty good. It might have been the second hit made him a little woozy, but he seems to be walking pretty well.
So Brennan struggles off the field, very gingerly walking. And it will be interesting to see just what the diagnosis is. See if they sit him down.
Tyler in the game.
So Tyler Graunke will come in. Graunke, 34 of 60, 474 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He comes into this game with 45 seconds left in the first half. Comes out with double wide receivers. Graunke looking, now throws long for Bess. That ball is caught on the 2-yard line. They will give him forward progress inside the 1. 36-yard pass. Welcome to the game, Mr. Graunke.
One of the best catches we've seen all year. What great concentration. Devon loses his helmet, hangs in there. Great throw by Tyler. That's how you want to come into a game when your first-string quarterback goes out.
There you see the effort by Devon Bess. Ball thrown just a little short. Bess has to put on the brakes and backpedal.
Timeout. Hawaii, second charge timeout.
So Hawaii will call this timeout with 33 seconds left. So we have been on an emotional ride here. First, we are very concerned with the way that Brennan is running. He is taking chances. He is probing the secondary. And he is getting twisted. That ankle is being twisted. They're going after his knee. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that they're going to do it on purpose. But then all of a sudden you look at this and you know that the chances of him getting hurt and re-injuring that ankle go up and up and up the more he scrambles. And it finally happened. But then the door opens and in comes Graunke. And then you see Brennan on the sidelines. He is not sitting down. And so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But Graunke has come in, and that ball is inside the 1-yard line. Graunke is under center. Single setback is David Farmer. Graunke, quarterback sneak. Did he get in? Did he get in? Waiting. They say no. Well, if he didn't get in,
he has to be knocking right on that door because, I mean, he had really good push there to the right-hand side. You see him scoop behind the right guard center.
He'll try it again. This time on a sweep.
Weak side option.
And he gets in. So Graunke is able to get across the plane.
I don't see them. I don't see the signal, Joe.
Oh, no, not again. They took that. And Hawaii's going to take a timeout. Boy, that's a tough goal line.
Timeout.
That is a tough goal line. Did he get across?
He's over. They hope they review that one. He's so far over on the replay. That is
yeah. See, he fell on the Utah State player.
So he's live, and
they're going to take a look at it.
Well, that one shot with the right down the goal line camera shows pretty clearly that the ball breaks the plane.
He had to get in that time. You got to be kidding me.
I was wondering if they're going to run the weak side option on the first play when they did the quarterback sneak, because Tyler's run that. Remember that 1 4th down that he ran it on? Did really good a couple games ago.
Boy, Tyler Graunke has come into this game. He's just taken control, hasn't he? That ball has got to be. I mean, you see him put the ball into the end zone. There you see Graunke. He's not down.
Nope.
And there it is.
Nope. The ball crosses the plane before any part of him touches the ground.
2 seconds left to play in the half. The referee is complaining that get away from me for some reason.
Actually, I think there's some kind of communication issues going on where he's not able to talk to the guy up in the booth. That's right. We could tell him. It was good.
That's right. Brent Guy, if they only look up here, we tell them.
The crowd reacting to the instant replay board here in the stadium, showing what we've already seen on TV instant replay several times. June actually pointing him out saying, can't you guys watch the instant replay board?
There's Brent Guy, and he looks very concerned here.
He looks like he knows it was a touchdown, but he hopes that's not what they call it.
And Bill McCabe, the referee, being protected by one of Honolulu's finest, trying to cover up his ear, and they're talking to him.
So 2 seconds left. If the officials don't call it a touchdown, which wouldn't surprise me, what do, Jim? Do you kick a field goal or do you go for it?
They're going to call it a touchdown. They've got to call it a touchdown. Here comes Mr. McCabe. He's going to turn on his microphone. He's going to turn to the crowd.
I think he's telling his partners, hey guys, I'm going to have to call it a touchdown.
Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field is a touchdown.
So it is now 30 to 13.
Please reset the clock for 5 seconds. 5 seconds, please.
There's the clock being reset to 5 seconds. But that's of little consequence now. And here's Dan Kelly for his PAT. Kick is up. And it is good. And Hawaii leading 31 to 13. And there you see Colt Brennan on the side. Boy, we were really concerned with him, and we're still concerned. But he's such a resilient young man. He wants to play. So Graunke, credit him, boy. He came in and he just took over.
That's exactly what you need to do when you're the backup quarterback. You come in, you don't let the momentum change, you add to it. Tyler Graunke did a great job. He's got to be really proud of himself. I know Coach Jones is.
Give yourself a raise. Quit smoking. A pack-a-day smoker burns up $2,000 a year. For help putting the money in your pocket instead of up in smoke, call the Hawaii Tobacco Quit line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Brennan is going to the locker room. Is he limping? A little bit. And there you see, boy, you talk about a recovery. There you see Kevin Robinson back into the game. Robinson was taken out. And here he is ready to return this kick. He has already returned one for a touchdown. This first half may not be over. Ball is squibbed. Picked up on about the 33-yard line by one of the up men. And they toss him out of bounds. That's DeAndre Burrell. And let's see. Come on, guys. Come on. It's the end of the first half. Don't be dumb. And Hawaii finally breaks it up. Here come the Hawaii coaches. Dennis McKnight is there.
Rich Miano.
And we'll see whether anything occurs. Maybe they just let it settle. Here's Brent Guy saying, hey, you can let him get away with that? What? Oh, he's upset. He wanted a call on that.
Nice sprinkle coming down to cool everybody off on the field.
That's true. But Hawaii reigned 31-13 at halftime. The officials are still talking about this. So we'll see. We will not leave here and take a break at halftime until something is said or something is not said. So apparently something, the referee is going over to talk to Brent Guy. You cannot, and Brent Guy is saying, look, that happened out of bounds. Yep, flag does come out.
There it is right there.
So Brent Guy has a case. He has a case. You're going to throw a flag? And finally, the first half, they finally take the first half off the burner. Let it simmer a bit. 31-13, Hawaii at the break.
Everywhere we go, our new lower auto insurance rates are saving people big money.
Wow. Switch and we'll handle the paperwork to close out your old policy.
Rates even lower than before. Discover the AIG Advantage. Call for your money-saving auto insurance quote today.
When you're shopping for a vehicle, do it quicker and easier with the all-new Auto Showcase in your Friday midweek and Thursday Honolulu Star Bulletin. The Auto Showcase features vehicle listings from Oahu's major dealerships in the cleanest, most organized sections you've ever seen. You'll find specific detailed information on some of the newest models on the market throughout the section. It's comprehensive, it's informative, it's Auto Showcase. Look for the all-new Auto Showcase only in your Friday midweek and Thursday Star Bulletin.
The beauty of hardwood flooring can be yours today. Find it today and enjoy it tomorrow. Pacific Imports International. Find it today and enjoy it tomorrow. We have Hawaii's largest local inventory of hardwood and bamboo flooring. Whether it's pre-finished or unfinished, solid or engineered, we have the floor you'll want and enjoy for years to come. Find it today and enjoy it tomorrow. Pacific Imports International. Call or visit our showroom today.
Rob, I'll get right to it. You're great, and I want you to lead the chicken team. Your first order of business will be my Chipotle Chicken Ciabatta Sandwich. Your choice of a spicy, crispy, or grilled chicken breast with a Chipotle sauce served on lightly toasted ciabatta bread.
Thanks, Jack. Pick the right guy. I am your chicken man.
Rob, you got the job. Cool it.
31-13 at halftime. The Warriors of Hawaii over the Aggies of Utah State. Let's take a look at the numbers of this first half. Hawaii leading in first downs, rushing yards. It is Utah State. In passing yards, it is Hawaii with 260 in total offense. There you see the numbers there, 273 to 147. Return yards have been unbelievable. It is Utah State with 200 and Hawaii with 107. That's a big statistic on the part of both teams. And an average yards per play, you see Hawaii with the advantage. The game summary was sponsored by Burger King. Have it your way.
Highlights here on special teams. There were some very special plays. You're looking at Kevin Robinson on his 100-yard kickoff return. Almost running out of gas there at the end. Coming right back for Hawaii, Malcolm Lane, number 89, makes a nice cut, 87-yard touchdown kickoff return. Another important play that happened in the first half. We all got a little bit nervous. Colt Brennan, Heisman hopeful, hit high and low right here. Is it a knee? We'll see in the second half. But coming right in for him, doing great, Tyler Graunke throwing to Devon Best right here. 36-yard completion right down near the goal line.
Tonight's halftime adjustment is sponsored by Chiroplan Hawaii. We turn to Mr. Donovan.
Robinson's got a role for Utah State. He looked like he was injured, but he's got to come back and do very well in the second half if Utah State wants a chance. And Hawaii needs to protect the QB. O-line, running back, do a great job protecting the Hawaii quarterback.
We'll take a break. When we come back, it'll be time for the second half. Hawaii leading 31-13.
Got a real storage problem? Call the Real Storage Experts. Call Public Storage at 1-800-44-STORE to get your first month for just $1. We make storage easier with boxes, moving supplies, even truck rentals, and more convenient locations than anyone else. Call 1-800-44-STORE or click to get your first month for just $1 at your nearby Public Storage. The Real Storage Experts.
Only the best linen. Only the freshest foods. Only the finest service. Only the Hawaii Prince Hotel Waikiki. Let the Hawaii Prince Hotel host your next special event or corporate meeting and be amazed at how stress-free and affordable the Hawaii Prince Hotel experience is. Our expert staff will help you with all the details to make your wishes come true. For parties or meetings of all sizes, call the Hawaii Prince Hotel Waikiki and be amazed.
Hey, Dad, you want to go to the beach?
No, I gotta hit the gym.
Dad, what you doing?
Can't you see I'm washing the car?
Hey, Dad, you busy?
Yes, I gotta get some work done.
Hey, Dad, you need some help?
Can't you just go play?
I'm sorry, Dad.
At times, we're all frustrated or overwhelmed. There are ways to take care of yourself so those feelings don't get in the way of being a good parent.
Dad?
I'm sorry, son. What do you want to do?
Stop neglect. Visit KHNL.com.
These views, these homes, this life can be yours at Keola o Pokai Bay, a new development of 3- and 4-bedroom single-family homes starting in the low 400,000s. Fee simple. Visit us at pokaibay.com.
Watch the latest hits at Kapilani Medical Center at Palimomi. Enjoy your favorite shows on our virtual headset during MRI exams. For the latest diagnostics for orthopedics, count on Palimomi.
This exclusive sports presentation of the home team is sponsored in part by Kaiser Permanente, Thrive, and by American Savings Bank, with longer hours in more locations than any other bank in Hawaii.
Welcome back to Aloha Stadium. It has been a battle here, 31-13, Hawaii leading over Utah State. We have been informed that there was a call with no time on the clock. And it went in the, not really a melee, but the jostling that went on in the bench area of Utah State. They called a penalty apparently on Kyle Gallagher, 6-foot freshman from Woodland, California.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. A non-player contact out of bounds after the play. 15-yard penalty will be assessed at this time against Utah State.
So Utah State, instead of kicking off from the 30, will kick off from the 15. Malcolm Lane, who already has run one back for an 87-yard touchdown, and Michael Washington, who also has a return, a punt return for a touchdown. The kick will go to Michael Washington. Takes it deep at his own 10-yard line, slips, maintains his balance, gets to the 20, gets to the 30, still on his feet, finally undercut at the 33-yard line. Let's find out what's on tap, sponsored by Heineken. I turn to Jim to find out what to look for in the second half.
Well, Hawaii wants to put it away. They want to go down the field and score, get some more point distance between them. Of course, for the Aggies, they need to stay in striking distance. They've got to stop this drive, get the ball back, and get downfield and make a score and stay in striking distance.
Colt Brennan will start the second half. Can't be any plainer than that. Leon Wright-Jackson, who did not play in the first half, is back in the backfield with Colt Brennan. Brennan, quick pass. That is complete to Hawthorne. Hawthorne gets really mashed, and then they hit him backwards. Big play by Jake Hutton. Hutton, the middle linebacker, number 53, 6 foot, 231-pound junior from Pocatello, Idaho.
I think our defensive tackle, Frank Miley, was also in that play. It looked like he rushed towards Colt and then turned and got in on the tackle near the end there, Jim.
Miley's been all over. I mean, he has played a stellar game defensively for Utah State. Loss on the play, second down and 15 from the 28. Brennan throws behind Bryce Mullins. That ball was tipped, I believe. So you can see that Utah State has come out here in the second half, and they're trying to continue what they did in the first half. Now watch the ball change directions here. And it just went off the fingers of a defender. And it will be third down and 15 from the 28. Hawaii leading 31-13. Brennan starting the second half following his injury. Throws, coming back for the ball and making the catch. But nope, that ball rolled away from him. C.J. Hawthorne. So Hawaii comes up empty. They go 3 and out to start the second half. The question here is Brennan. And Brennan is limping off the field. When Brennan has that kind of limp, it's tough for him to really plant that back foot. And usually he doesn't then have the accuracy that we're used to. Tim Grasso in to try the punt, and he tries very well. 43-yard average. It's not among the leaders because he doesn't punt that often. Waiting for it. Taking it in is Robinson. Robinson crosses the 35-yard line. Down he goes. 44-yard punt and an 8-yard return. Robinson, by the way, that return by Robinson, that 100-yard return, was the third longest in Utah State history and the longest in the modern era since NCAA statistics counted. School record is held by Altie Taylor.
I think making the tackle on that play, Jim, was Keenan Jones and actually C.J. Hawthorne, who, as you know, is a converted DB last year to wide receiver, so they were both down there on the play.
Hawthorne has been playing on special teams. First down for Utah State on the 35-yard line. Ball is given to Spate. He bumps along, trying to angle his way for yardage. And they halt him after a very short gain. So a gain on the play of only 3 yards. Second down, about 7.5. Just underway in the third period. Hawaii leading 31-13.
Hawaii just went into their nickel defense.
Triple wide receiver to the near side. Ball is thrown to Robinson, coming back, looking for help. Robinson is swallowed up after he gets it to the 40-yard line. Carl Noah led the charge there for Hawaii. And you see Brennan, kind of a grimace, not being worked on but he's trying to walk it off, and he does not look well. So Robinson is flanked again to the far side. Robinson comes back in motion. Jackson may run. He does. Jackson gets the first down, probes that secondary, and runs it over the 45-yard line to about the 48.
Well, credit the Warrior coverage there, Jim. There was nothing for Jackson to throw to, but, he can move. Decides to take it right up the middle here. Nice opening right here.
So here comes Utah State up the field, another first down, and they have advanced the ball to the 48-yard line, their own 48. Jackson and Spate in the backfield, double wide receiver to the right. In motion is Spate. Jackson looking, throws, crossing pattern, almost picked off. That would have been a touchdown. Almost picked off by Elamimian. Elamimian gathers that in. Nothing but field turf in front of him. Nothing.
He wants that one back. Just jumps right in front of you. He sort of sits there even to stay out of the line of sight of the quarterback, and then reads the quarterback's eyes, knows where it's going, just a little bit ahead of it.
The Hawaii defense has got to be really proud of themselves. The defense and special teams have accounted for 7 scores, 4 interception returns, including 2 last week against Idaho. Here's Jackson running into the secondary to the 40 of Hawaii, and then he gets rolled over. That's a first down, 13-yard gain. Jackson is becoming a problem for the Warrior defense.
Nice block there by Brennan McFadden, leading Jackson up into the line of scrimmage. You can actually see him.
There you see.
Well, from that angle, you couldn't see him.
Well, you saw Jackson. That's what you saw in that secondary. That's not what Hawaii wants. First down on the 39-yard line of Hawaii. Jackson to throw. Does so. That is complete to Robinson. Spinning move. And they finally gang up on him and force him out of bounds.
Boy, they are really keyed in on Robinson.
Robinson, that 100-yard kickoff return was his 24th career touchdown. And he's right up there among the leaders.
But you gotta like what the Aggies are doing so far. They're moving the ball, eating up the clock, heading down towards the red zone. Warrior defense, defensive front 7 playing tough.
Nelson,
good football.
Nelson is to the far side, and now in motion goes Robinson. Single setback is Spate. It is Spate to the 35, to the 34. Good gain on that play. And Utah State doing here on the opening drive in the second half after they stopped Hawaii at 3 and out. Utah State doing here in the third quarter what they did in the first quarter. They settled for a field goal, but they moved the ball extraordinarily well.
Coach McMack can wait until the last minute to signal in the defense.
Robinson in motion. They throw to him. Gets a block inside the 30, inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Boy, they isolate him outside, and he's very hard to bring down. A 9-yard gain. Kevin Robinson, a 6-foot senior at 200 pounds out of Fresno, California.
That was just all 1-2 right there, Jim. He just, boy, he went right between 2 Hawaii defenders.
And that moves the ball to the 24-yard line for Utah State. Utah State trails in this game 31-13, but that has not stopped them. They're moving the ball well here in the second half. Jackson with time throws for the end zone. It is incomplete. Threw it too high. Intended for the tight end. Intended for the tight end on the far side, Rob Myers, who has just come into the game. He has not played that much at all.
Little play action pass there. Throwing back to the tight end, which has been a nemesis for the Hawaii defense over the last couple of years, but he threw it too high.
That pass too high. Bob Myers stopped his route. He's caught only one pass all year, 1 for 9 yards. So that's 2nd down and 10. The ball at the 24-yard line of Hawaii. Jackson from the shotgun. Hands it to Spate. Big hole inside the 20. Trying to reach the first down. He will come up short.
Good old-fashioned draw play. Spate's got such explosive power that he really makes that draw play work.
So Dervin Spate, look at this hole here. As they double-team the defenders out of the way, Spate into the secondary. Another very good game. 3rd down. They have to go just inside the 15, just short of the 14.
Crowd trying to get into it.
Big play here. Spate to the 10. That's a first down. It will be 1st and goal to go for Utah State. 8-yard gain by Spate, angling off the left side.
Nice level for Spate. I mean, he is down running, pumping those knees, but he's got to be about 1.5 feet off the ground, and he was going to get that first down no matter what, and he gets that and more.
Boy, Hawaii had their way with Utah State last year. At Utah State, 66-10. Hawaii leads in this one, 31-13. But Utah State now 1st and goal to go. They want to shorten up the lead. Jackson, Spate to the 5. Touchdown.
Great job of Dervin Spate breaking back across the green where the original hole on the front side wasn't open, and he cuts back all the way across.
And he also exposes what is a vulnerability to Hawaii. I mean, the Hawaii players are all penned inside. No one got outside to really challenge him. Excellent blocking by Utah State.
He's going to be a very good runner. He is a good runner.
Peter Caldwell in to try the PAT. It is up, and it is perfect. 9:15 left to play in the 3rd. It is 31. Dervin Spate running on that drive, and he was able to push it into the end zone, a 9-yard run. The key in that drive for Utah State, they were 3 for 3 on 3rd downs. Michael Washington and Malcolm Lane are deep as we look at the retaping now of Colt Brennan. It will go to Malcolm Lane. He's returned one already. Lane still on his feet to the 30, to the 40. Out of bounds, short of the 45-yard line.
Well, Tom Yoshida, our statistician, actually passed me some stats at the end of the first half here, and it showed Hawaii average field position in the first half was their own 19 starting their drives. 4 out of 5 times they started inside the 20. Great job by Malcolm Lane there, getting him out to the 43-yard line and getting him good field position.
Tyler Graunke has come in place of Brennan. Graunke 1 for 1, 36 yards. That set up the touchdown that passed to Bess. So Graunke takes over again. First down. The ball at the 43-yard line, their own 43. Hawaii leading 31-20. Graunke looks over the middle, now throws. That ball is it caught? Is it caught? Apparently it is. What a catch by Hawthorne. Hawthorne was on his way out of bounds, and that ball was high, and he was able to reach up and grab it. Well, 21-yard game.
Every quarterback has a favorite throw, and Tyler Graunke's have got to be the out pattern to the middle of the field there. He throws those post outs, and he throws the the posts and the mid outs very, very well.
James Brindley covering on the play for Utah State. That's a first down for Hawaii. 21-yard pickup. First down, the ball is at the 36-yard line of Utah State. Graunke in the pocket, throws long. He wants touchdown. Hawthorne, what a catch! What a catch! 36-yard touchdown reception. over his shoulder with a defender right on him. That defender was Brindley. What a catch.
Well, I said earlier the Warrior offensive line had to protect the quarterback. That was a delayed blitz, and they did, and it's a touchdown.
36-yard touchdown pass. Hawaii now leads 37-20. And again, Dan Kelly's leg provides the PAT. It's 38-20 with 8:55 as Hawaii answers back to the Utah State touchdown.
Why walk when you can roll? It's Bike Factory. It's Boca. For the answer to all your bicycling needs, it's Bike Factory. For the best of BMX, mountain, or road bikes. It's Boca for expert triathlete training for races and promotions. It's Bike Factory for action sports, skateboards, scooters, and much more. Bike Factory open daily. Located at the corner of Ala Moana Boulevard at Cook Street. Or call 596-8844.
Of course Geico sponsors Mike's Race Car because they insure everything race car fans love. RVs, motorcycles, ATVs. Tell you one thing they can insure them. Lauren Wallace. Because Lauren Wallace is made of lightning. Those guys are like, hey, where's Lauren? He was just here a minute ago. I'm 100 miles away, son. Ready to strike.
Geico, saving you money on insurance for your car and the other stuff that moves you.
In the Hawaiian heat, you can taste the intrigue.
What's beef doing? Flame broiled, tough guy.
And the action sizzles.
Nice buns, baby.
Tell it to the judge, Pickles.
Come on, give me a break, Junior.
It's Whopper Junior, baby.
The Whopper Junior, part of the BK value menu, just $1.49 at Burger King.
Makes me hungry. For justice? Nah, just hungry.
Hawaii 57 yards in 2 plays. Graunke, a 36-yard pass to Hawthorne. A Scholar Spotlight is on Tanya Smith, the sophomore women's basketball player. She's an excellent player. The Scholar Spotlight is presented by AIG Hawaii. Discover the AIG advantage. 2 passes to Hawthorne on the sideline for a 21-yard gain, and then the touchdown pass at 38-yarder. Tyler Graunke looks very sharp tonight.
That was a really nice throw. Right on the money.
DeAndre Burrell and Aaron Lisway. Deep. And it will go to Burrell. Over the 25. And he gets the ball up around that area before they swarm him. And it will be first down for Utah State. Now, Utah State knows they have been able to move the ball. When you look at Leon Jackson, he is 10 for 15 for 75 yards. So he not only is running well, but Jackson has carried the ball 11 times for 65 yards. Spate 16 times for 69 yards and 1 touchdown. So here comes Utah State. They trail by 18. 8:50 left to play in the third period. Ball is on the 28-yard line. This is Spate skipping over a man at the line of scrimmage. And then he's forced back.
The Warrior defensive front seven creating a wall, shutting down that running play, not letting Spate go anywhere.
Second down and about 7.5. Jackson rolling, sets up, throws long, double coverage. That is incomplete. It was intended for Kevin Robinson.
Kale Monte coming over and separating the ball from Robinson.
Newberry also there in the double coverage. That'll bring up third down. Another look. That was catchable. But the pass thrown too wide. The boundary is right there, and then you see Monte able to make contact, and the ball comes out. 3 or a third down, and the ball on about the 30-yard line. Robinson in motion. Jackson sets up. He's hit. Jackson is sacked. Jackson tried to run out of the sack. And they got some pushing and shoving going on, a little bravado on the part of both teams. But the first one to him was Maka. So Francis Maka out of San Mateo, California. First one to him, and he got help from his friends.
Big stand by the Warrior defense right there.
Leon Jackson, the quarterback, will punt. This is a rarity. And he can put it up in the air. Spiral going back forward as Devon Best takes it at the 20-yard line. Best's return at the 25, gets a block, tries to get outside, tries to get to the wall. He is at the 30, the 40, and they finally pull him down there. 50-yard punt and a 19-yard return. Joshua Taylor, playing on the special teams, made the tackle for Utah State.
Gaitan Galdera losing his helmet, but being the special teams warrior that he is, he just keeps on playing.
We may have a penalty. We do.
Personal foul. Number 18, unnecessary roughness. 15-yard penalty. First down.
How do you do that without your helmet?
Gaitan Galdera. Maybe he used the helmet in ways that he should not have. So, see if we can pick this up. Gaitan Caldera, he is number there, and he did it
with no helmet on.
Yeah, did it without the helmet. So another field position challenge for Hawaii. Tyler Graunke still in there. The ball at the 21-yard line. Jason Rivers is to the far side. David Farmer is back with Graunke. And triple wide receiver, they come out to the right. What amazes me is they do not change these wide receivers. I mean, they run all game long.
And they run pretty fast.
Yes, they do.
I was actually looking at their national rankings. Ryan Grice Mullins is 21st in the national rankings. Jason Rivers is 28th, and Devon Best is 34 in the NCAA.
Somebody jumped across. Could be Miley.
He's got a motor. He just turned it on a little too soon there.
Offside with contact. Number 57 defense, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Miley knew it too, and he tried to save John Estes from falling. Kind of pulled him back, saying, "Sorry, John, that's unfair of me. Please forgive me, because I'm coming hard on the next play." 7:12 left to play here in the third period. Hawaii 1st and 5 from their own 25-yard line. Graunke, who has played more than well. Graunke looking sideline, looking over the middle, now throws over the middle, wide open is Grice Mullins. Grice Mullins to the 45-yard line of Utah State, and that ball was placed right in his hands. 30-yard pickup.
The Aggies showing a three-man front, blitzing two linebackers, leaving them short on coverage, and Ryan Grice Mullins finds the gap.
Ryan Grice Mullins, the most patient of football players. Mullins has been in on this team for many years. It would seem that he has been there like forever. But he just waits his opportunity. Pass over the middle, nobody there. Double coverage, and we have interference? Apparently so. It was intended again for Ryan Grice Mullins.
I think that official was waiting for someone else to throw their flag, and when he finally didn't see one, he threw it himself.
That sometimes happens.
Pass interference, number 45 defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So Mullins and his mates. This ball is distributed on passes so well in this offense that you have a contrast here. You have the Hawaii receivers, and then you have Robinson. Robinson is the key man for Utah State. For Hawaii, it's a small group.
Well, they called it
receivers.
on number 45. It must have been while he was coming across the front of him because you couldn't see it at the end of the replay.
Graunke to throw again. Does so. That is complete to Jason Rivers. And Rivers still fighting for yardage. Finally out of bounds he goes. Igboli was covering on the play for Utah State.
We always talk about Yak. Look at catch the ball, turn inside, try to get something out of it. Another 3 or 4 yards.
So the ball is resting right on the boundary of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Graunke, another patient player. Rolling. There's the shovel pass. It goes to David Farmer at the 10-5 touchdown. 20-yard touchdown run for David Farmer. That's only his 4th carry of the year, his first touchdown.
Great play calling by Coach June Jones. You see a blitz on the outside. Both players are let go. Shuffle pass. David Farmer wide open. All the way to the end zone.
Good power running by David Farmer. It's now 44-20. Making another appearance is Dan Kelly. Kelly hits the extra point. 45-20, Hawaii over Utah State.
Trip, train, draft and drink. Innovative, draft and Heineken.
It's back. The irresistibly sweet taste of McDonald's Halpia Pie, made with creamy coconut filling and a crispy golden brown pastry.
I'm loving it.
Hawaii 79 yards in 3 plays in only 48 seconds. Graunke to Farmer, a 20-yard shovel pass. Graunke 3 for 3 on that drive, 59 yards. And in the game, he is perfect, 6 for 6. 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Kelly will kick off. Hawaii with some breathing room now, 45-20 over Utah State. Robinson and LeSueur deep. LeSueur number 1, Robinson number 6. It will go to LeSueur. Trying to find a hole and gets ankle tackled around the 22-yard line. The Jack Fact is sponsored by Jack in the Box. Try Jack's new sirloin steak and egg burrito. Only at Jack in the Box, where breakfast is served all day. Hawaii's defense has 4 interception returns for touchdowns this season, tying a Warriors single season record set in 2002. Now you see Greg McMackin. McMackin really works hard in games and, of course, during practice sessions all week. First down for Utah State. Spate back with Jackson. Jackson to throw. Looking, throws long, and there by himself is Robinson. And it is a race Robinson trying to get some help. Robinson at the 10, at the 5, dives for the end zone, and that's a touchdown. 77 yards. Hello, we're back.
And to boot, they roughed the passer, it looked like, or it could be a holding penalty, but there's a flag back around the 15-yard line.
Roughing the passer, number 93 defense. The touchdown stands. Penalty will be assessed after the try or on the kickoff.
Boy, that really hurts. That one is just a painful call. They called it on Ben Childs, the defensive tackle. So number 93 gets called for that. Roughing the passer. In the meantime, Utah State is lining up. There you see, I'm mistaken here. It's not Childs. It's Hawaii. And number 93 is Watson Keala, or Keala Watson. So they're lining up for the extra point. That one, despite the fact that it was a touchdown, was unnecessary. There's the kick up and through by Peter Caldwell. But Kevin Robinson, you talk about a player that just stands out. That's him.
Oh yeah, he's amazing. He's a very talented player. As we said, coming into this evening, averaging 202 all-purpose yards per game, third in the NCAA. He's got to already be over that right now, Jim. He's got to be over his 202 with that 100-yard kickoff return and the pass and completions he's had before this one. I just want to know how come he can dive into the end zone and it's not a penalty, but when Hawaii does it, 4 flags come out.
Could be an Idaho law. You never know. But in the meantime, roughing the passer was really unnecessary on the part of Keala Watson. And we misidentified him, so we apologize to Ben Childs.
Don't you think June's asking the same thing that I was just talking about? How come they can dive into the end zone and it's no problem?
Yeah.
He's pointing over towards that corner. Doesn't look too happy. He's saying, call him both ways.
45-27.
The penalty for the personal foul, roughing the passer, will be assessed at this time.
The point, too, being that it could be argued that's the only way that he could get there. That's the only way on that touchdown run that he could get there. And last week, maybe that wasn't the only way that Newberry could get there. That's the only logic that I see.
Okay. I'll go with it.
It's the only one that I could come up with. Chris Ulinski will kick off yet another time, 45-27. Washington and Malcolm Lane are deep. There's the kick, and because of the penalty, that ball goes out of the end zone. Hawaii will begin at the 20.
Well, a lot of scoring going on tonight, Jim. Back and forth and back and forth. But the Warriors up 45-27. 6:04 left in the third quarter.
And Tyler Graunke playing his best football.
6 for 6.
Season. Yeah, perfect.
And more importantly, 2 TDs.
6:04 left to play in the third period. Tyler Graunke.
Just the game Tyler Graunke needed. Not probably the way he wanted it, but just the game he needed.
Leon Wright Jackson back there with him. First down from the 20. Bad snap. Graunke gets just leveled. Leveled there by Jake Hutton. Graunke thought he saw some opening. Hutton comes in, levels him, and Hutton has to limp off.
It all started with a bad snap. Rolling back there to Tyler's right-hand side. He does a good job picking it up, trying to make something happen, but Hutton's in his face way too quick.
Yeah, somebody rolled up on the back of his leg. Loss on the play, second down and 13 from the 17-yard line. Graunke again, this time gets a good snap. Looks, throws, that is complete. Settling in the zone was Hawthorne. And whistle blows, stopping the action.
He had his knee down, I guess, when he caught the ball.
So the ball is out over the 25 to the 28-yard line. Take another look at this. As you see, there's the knee down. Hawthorne gets back up. Good call by the official. 3rd down and 2 for the first down. Graunke is now 7 for 7 since he has come on in relief of Brennan. Graunke throws. That is caught on the sideline, and they missed the tackle. Jason Rivers is all by himself. Touchdown. Amazing. 72 yards.
That was a great throw by Tyler Graunke. That ball didn't go up or down more than about a foot to the sideline. Caught Jason Rivers almost in stride. Missed tackle there.
He did not step out of bounds, however.
Yep, nice job staying in bounds. And look at him turn it on. He runs away from the Aggie defensive backfield.
51 to 27. Hawaii leading. And here is Dan Kelly. Out of the hold of Grasso. Long snapper is Jake Ingram, by the way. And Kelly does it again. So Jason Rivers has just passed Chad Owens for 2nd place on the University of Hawaii career receiving yard list, 3,089.
Chad Owens, such a great receiver for the Warriors. 3 years sticking around in the NFL. Finally cut near the last cut this year. I'm sure trying to decide what to do next, if it's Canada or if he's going to go back one more shot somewhere at the NFL. One of the most electrifying players UH has ever had at the wide receiver position, and almost single-handedly won the Michigan State game a few years back.
Hawaii has scored 32 or more points now in 16 straight games. (52 to 27). And we still have 4 minutes and 27 seconds left in the 3rd period. And Kelly to kick off. Robinson and LeSueur are deep. And the rain is returned yet another time. It will go to LeSueur. Sway looking for blocking, accelerates up the sideline to the 40. And finally knocked out of bounds just short of midfield. Making the tackle was Joe Pierre Davis. Good run back here by LeSueur.
Looks like the official caught him stepping out of bounds around the 43.
Right there, huh?
Good job by the official.
So it will be first down, and we'll see where they mark it as the rain comes down. They're still holding the ball. They'll put it on the 43. Double wide receiver to the left. I mean, we have gone up and down this field. 52-27. With it is Hawthorne. Trying to run, getting to the outside, ridden down by Adam Leonard. Short gain on the play. They'll put it, we'll see where they give him forward progress.
Warrior defense doing a nice job on breaking to the quarterback, Jackson, as he scrambles. I can't tell if that was design play or not. He looked out to the left and ended up scrabbling.
Yeah, it was Jackson. Jackson has the ability to run, though, Jim. He really does.
He's done a good job tonight.
2nd down and 7. Jackson again. Out it goes to Spate. Spate's another player who has starred tonight for Utah State.
I think there's a very good career in front of that young man, Dervin Spate. I can see why he broke into the starting lineup last week against Utah. And I think we're going to be saying his name in years to come. A lot.
52-27. Hawaii leading. 3rd down play again. for Utah State. Utah State is 5 for 11 in third downs, at least trying to get the first down on third down situations. Here's Jackson again, running. Jackson is hit just as he crosses midfield. He's a couple of yards short of the first down. And we'll see what Utah State does here as you look at Chief Vili. Brad Kalilimoku made the tackle for Hawaii. Kalilimoku, number 43. David Vekuni goes off.
Well, they're down 25 points. You got to think they're going to go for it, and it looks like they are.
Robinson is to the far side. Single coverage on Robinson. Ball is given on a handoff to Darren Spate, and Spate gets the first down. Able angle off the left side. 2:50 left to play in the third period. Spate yet another carry. Spate's 18th carry of this game.
We don't see too many offense running I formation and having that lead back come at you.
See how that offensive line moves.
I actually think that was a couple plays ago.
Yeah, that was when Jackson was carrying the ball. First down, the ball at the 45-yard line of Hawaii. Jackson from the shotgun. Quick pass to Nelson, and Nelson cannot make the reception. Incomplete. Second down and 10 from the 45. Receive updates, ticket discounts, special offers, and more each week by signing up for email. To register, visit hawaiiathletics.com and click on the H-Mail button. It's easy and it's free. Second down and 10. Robinson to the far side along with Omar Sawyer. To the near side is Nelson. Jackson looks over the middle, throws tight end. That's complete. And that is short of the first down, but inside the 40-yard line. Will Fossil. Was it Will? No, it's Doug Barber. Barber making the trip to Hawaii. In fact, for Barber, that's only his third catch of the year. He's out of La Mirada, California. This is the replay to Barber. Third down and 3, another third down play for Utah. Spate gets the handoff. Spate is ridden down by Elamimian.
Nice job of the Warrior defensive line tying up the whole Aggie offensive line, allowing Elamimian to scrape off and make the tackle there on third down.
Again, you see how the offensive line kind of moved to one side right there. But here comes Elamimian, able to get there very quickly. Fourth down.
Another big fourth down for the Aggies.
Fourth down. The Aggies are 2 for 2 in the game. This is their third attempt. Ball is kept by Jackson. Whistle blows.
I don't see a flag. I wonder if there's a timeout.
Timeout. Utah State. First charge timeout of the half. This is the 32nd timeout.
32nd timeout for Utah State as you look at Brent Guy in his third year coaching at Utah State.
I think the clock was running down on the 25-second play clock, and one of the coaches from the sideline called the timeout so as not to make it 4th and 9 and almost impossible to get a first down.
It will be fourth down when they return to action with speeds up to 11 megabytes per second. Hawaiian Telcom high-speed internet is now Hawaii's fastest internet. Sign up today and get your free month or first month free. To speed up, call 643-0805 or visit hawaiiantel.com. Well, you see the top 25 losses today, Jimbo, and it has been quite a day.
Wow, it's been like that the last few weeks, but look at that. That's 3, 6, 9, 11 losses in the top 25. That's amazing. USC, that's really a big surprise. Wisconsin against Illinois, another big surprise. Well, for me personally.
52-27. It has not been a low-scoring game in any stretch of the imagination. Fourth down. Fourth down and 4. Ball at the 39 of Hawaii. Robinson in motion. With the ball is Jackson. Dives for the 35-yard line, and I believe he has the first down. When in doubt, Mr. Jackson will carry the ball for you, and he will carry the ball with expertise, determination.
Just great personal effort here by Jackson, stretching out there. I think the ball might even been a little bit over the line, but we'll see what happens with this mark.
Well, Jackson did dive, and it's a question of where his knees touched. But that's very close, and probably, let's see, they will stretch it. And it is really close. They're going to have to stretch it again. And it is. That's a first down. That's a first down.
They say it's a game of inches. That was.
It was. Less than an inch. But Utah State will take it. Gives them another opportunity here. Fresh downs at the 35-yard line of Hawaii with 42 seconds and the clock counting in the third period. Hawaii leading 52-27. Jackson under center, Spate behind him. Jackson keeps, rolls, hit as he throws, gets it to the tight end. There will be no gain on that play. Adam Leonard was the one who stopped the progress. Rob Myers again.
Nice job by Carl Noah getting right into Jackson's face. Again, play action pass, trying to pull the defense in a different direction. Carl Noah does a real nice job of keeping contained.
That's the end of the fourth quarter.
This is how big breast cancer would be if you found it yourself. But regular mammograms could detect it when it's just this big, and that is 96% curable. So if you're a woman 40 years or older, please go get a mammogram every year. At UHA, we love you and want you to be a member for a long, long time.
What was that?
4 o'clock. All the other banks just closed.
Oh.
You shouldn't have to adjust your schedule to fit your bank. That's why American Savings Bank is extending its hours at all branches. American Savings Bank.
It's official. Hawaiian Telcom has the fastest internet in Hawaii with speeds of up to 11 megs. To connect, call 643-0805 or visit hawaiiantel.com. Are you ready for the speed?
This week on Destination Groove Dance Hawaii. The competition begins as the top 12 dancers take on the dance style jazz. It's all happening Sunday night at 7 on KHNL 8.
(52-27) Hawaii. Utah State moving the ball again. They've advanced it to the 35-yard line of Hawaii as we enter the fourth quarter. There you see Leon Jackson, 14 of 21, 161 yards, a touchdown. Ball is not given to anybody. And coming in and making the tackle for Hawaii, let's see, Myron Was it Myron Newberry?
Yep, Myron Newberry coming off the edge, Jim, on a full-speed blitz. Looks like Jackson's actually a little shaken up.
See Jackson rolling and looking. All of a sudden, he's in trouble. Down he goes. First one to him was Newberry. So Newberry coming off the edge. Big loss on the play. Back outside the 40-yard line to the 43. Utah State Jackson with Spate back there. Jackson looking. Jackson sacked again. Boy, they showed up in triplicate that time. Patek was there.
Big-time blitz by the Warriors. Patek was in there. Elamimian, 4-down linemen. They were coming after him, and they got to him.
Boy, they converged on him very quickly. That will bring up 4th down. And the possibilities on this drive disappear in 2 plays. So Jackson really took
That's actually
some shots there.
Called a zone blitz, where they'll rush 4 guys on one side when there's only 3 blockers.
Jackson into punt. Devon Bess is deep for Hawaii. End over end. Bess takes it at the 12, trying to get to the wall. Bess breaks a tackle. He'll come back the other way. Gets a great block. Bess running to the 25. Bess to the 30. And down he goes at about the 33.
What great personal effort by Devon Bess.
38-yard punt, but just a real delicious return, because you're wondering what Devon Bess would think up next.
If you have back pain, arthritis, fibromyalgia, tendinitis, any kind of joint and muscle pain or stiffness at all, you finally have a safe, effective relief. Dr. Frank's homeopathic joint and muscle pain relief.
I had a lot of fear that I would be crippled at a very young age. It was a miracle that I found something safe and that had such dramatic pain relief.
Dr. Frank's is all natural. Just spray here and stop all your pain everywhere. For the first time ever, these 10 homeopathic ingredients have been combined in a revolutionary oral spray that stops inflammation, pain, and stiffness.
I pretty much quit tennis just because of the pounding. Since using this spray, my pain and tenderness and swelling and soreness and stiffness has gone.
If you have any kind of joint and muscle pain or stiffness, Dr. Frank's Joint and Muscle Pain Relief is the safe, all-natural relief you've been searching for.
I have no pain in my knees, no sciatica, and I'm pain-free.
I'm Dr. Ken Frank. I'm a medical doctor. There is a safe way to stop your pain, and I guarantee that your daily aches and pains, whether mild or severe, will stop or significantly decrease with this formula.
Start living your life pain-free. Try safe, effective Dr. Frank's risk-free. Call now and get a 200 spray trial bottle for only $19.95.
It was as though someone has given me an electric shock that went up the arm, and I could not do that. Now I can't get that pain no matter how far I turn my arm. And now I'm playing tennis again.
Call now and spray away your pain in days. Call now for your risk-free trial bottle of Dr. Frank's Joint and Muscle Pain Relief. Ask how to double the supply for free. And also ask how to get for free Dr. Frank's 100-page book about natural and safe pain relief without drugs.
Call now, 1-800-704-8132. 1-800-704-8132. That's 1-800-704-8132.
Dr. Frank's pain relief really works.
Hawaiian Airlines is proud to present the 2007 Aloha Festivals. This year's theme, Kekahualani o Hawaii, Hawaii's beloved royal playgrounds, celebrates the places that make each island unique. Help foster the Aloha spirit and preserve the traditions of Hawaii by enjoying the many colorful events taking place on all of the islands. Buy an Aloha Festivals ribbon at any of these locations and show your support. Mahalo to these fine sponsors.
So sweet, you won't even know it's sugar-free. Click on BigIslandCandies.com to order the new sugar-free chocolate Hawaiian macadamia nut brownies.
13-11 left to play in the game. Hawaii leading 52-27 over Utah State. Tyler Graunke has had quite a game coming in for the injured Colt Brennan. 8 for 8, 235 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Those are great stats. In
motion is Bess. Graunke gets the snap. Looking, throws, That is complete. Coming back for it, making the catch at about the 43 was C.J. Hawthorne. Hawthorne with a touchdown catch. Magnificent one over his shoulder. Marquise Charles covering on the play for Utah State.
Tyler Graunke showing great poise right there, going through his reads, making a nice throw. 9 for 9.
String continues for Tyler Graunke. That offensive line really has given him time. First down at the 44-yard line. Ball is given to Leon Wright Jackson. Jackson into the secondary, crosses midfield, gets all the way down inside the 40-yard line of Utah State. Roy Hurst finally halted his progress.
Can't really say he tackled him. He sort of tripped over him.
17-yard gain.
Look at this
Wright
hit
Jackson.
that Leon Wright Jackson puts on Roy Hurst right here. Boom.
Wright Jackson, the transfer from Nebraska. First down. They have it at just inside the 40-yard line. We'll call it the 39. Wright Jackson back there with Graunke. Graunke to throw. Steps up, throws over the middle. That is incomplete. First incompletion of this game. It was intended for Devon Bess.
A little bit behind. Something looked like it was a possible misread almost.
That stops the clock with 12:13 left. Tim Ledarchik there, number 48, covering on the play. So here comes Hawaii again, second down and 10 from the 39-yard line. Fumbling the ball, picking it up, throwing it, and there's an interception. Interception by Caleb Taylor. And Taylor comes back up to the 36-yard line. Well, trying to make something when you don't have anything, that's exactly what Tyler Graunke tried to do that time.
Yep, started with a bad snap. His head was down. He looked up, thought he saw something, threw it high.
Second interception of the year for Caleb Taylor. He tried to force it in there. And Taylor able to return it.
Ryan Grice-Mullen, the intended receiver, but just way over his head.
So first down for Utah State, 12:04 left to play in the fourth quarter. Utah State has some catching up to do. New quarterback has come into the game. That's Jace McCormick. Jace McCormick in the game, handed off to Dervin Spate. And Spate just got, well, he lost a couple of yards.
Oh, the penetration by the Warrior defensive tackles there just ruined that whole play. It was some kind of trap play. And you have Kyla Watson in there. I believe Falele was also in there. Just totally disrupted the whole play.
McCormick, 6 of 10, 22 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. From the shotgun, McCormick taking the place of Jackson. McCormick in trouble. And they swallow him up. Jackson did all he could do, that's for sure. 14 of 21, 161 yards, 1 touchdown. And in running, 17 carries, 55 yards.
The Warrior defensive line have really turned up their motors.
That's the 5th sack tonight by Hawaii.
They will not be denied. David Vaikuni, Keala Watson, Faleleale. I mean, they were all in there.
So it's now third down, long yardage. They have to go all the way to the 47 for the first down. And the line of scrimmage is 32. McCormick in trouble again. Shovels it. And that is complete, but short of the first down. Shoveled it up the field to the tight end. And that was Doug Barber.
Warriors ran the exact same zone blitz on the left side of the Aggie line that they did on the last series that they got the big sack.
So coming in to punt will be Peter Caldwell. And he will punt it to Devon Bess. A wobbler. Best comes up, takes it at the 25. To the 30, in trouble, trying to ad-lib his way out, but they finally halted. 40-yard punt, 8-yard return. It will be first down.
I think there's a flag on the play.
For Hawaii, there could be a flag, yes. Referee tonight is Bill McCabe. McCabe is a Western Athletic Conference official. He used to be a Western Athletic Conference basketball official.
Holding, number 29 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from where the kick ended. First down.
Could have another quarterback change here for Hawaii.
Yes, we do, Jim.
Inoki Funaki comes in, 5'11", the sophomore from Laie. 10 for 13 in passing, 136 yards. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Nice applause for Inoki coming into the game from the crowd here. That may also be for Tyler Graunke playing a good game up until that last pass.
Tyler Graunke was superb. 9 for 11, 1 interception, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns. So here's Funaki. Low snap. Funaki wants to run, and he does not run far.
I actually think that was a very good play by Inoki. I think he was supposed to hand it off, but the snap sort of messed up the exchange, so he just held on to it and made sure it didn't turn into a fumble. That's repetitions and wisdom right there.
Loss on the play of 1, second down and 11. Ball at the 14. Different wide receivers have come in now. Michael Washington, Aaron Bain, Greg Salas.
Actually, it's a second-team offensive line also, Jim.
And that ball thrown inside, incomplete. Was intended for Salas. Salas, the red shirt freshman out of Chino, California. Hawaii putting in the second teamers now.
Larry Salafea moves over from right guard to center. And the first couple times he's winning as center with the second team, there have been some low snaps, but he corrects it pretty quickly. Probably a little tired. He's played the whole game, but no reason he can't get a snap back 5 or 6 yards.
Hawaii comes out 3rd down and 11 from their own 14. Malcolm Lane is flanked to the far side. And Funaki goes down. We have a penalty flag as they sack him.
Probably holding.
Holding, number 77 offense.
Aaron Kia.
Yep, Aaron.
Penalty is declined.
Penalty is declined. That will be 4th down. Hawaii will punt it away. 8:58 left in the 4th quarter. Hawaii will go on the road next week and play Dick Tomey and the San Jose State Spartans. The Spartans are having their trouble, but they are a whack team, and Hawaii is playing on the road. And in addition to that, they are playing Tomey, and Tomey always has surprises.
A lot of those games there have been very, very close.
There's the punt. Coming up to take it on a fair catch is Robinson. 31-yard punt and no return. Will step away from Aloha Stadium. 8:38 left to play in the game. 52-27 Hawaii.
TikTok, you don't stop. It's the K5.
We really need your help to promote our new block of comedies on K5 The Home Team. Create a commercial that promotes any one or all of these shows. Selected entries will air on K5, and winners will receive Roadrunner high-speed internet service, video games from Toys and Joys, or a Style Logger surfboard. Log on to K5TheHomeTeam.com for more details. Save Power 104.3 and K5 The Home Team. Please
think about it.
It's every day. You're hauling this, moving that, banging heads with rocks and mud. That's your life. So get into the biggest, baddest, full-sized pickup, the all-new Toyota Tundra. It's got monster horsepower and torque. And there's enough room for you, your crew, your dog, and all your stuff. And right now, the Tundra and every 2007 Toyota truck and SUV is on sale at their lowest prices ever. The Haul It, Move It clearance sale at your Toyota dealers of Hawaii. Happening now, but not for long.
This look at the passing game is sponsored by Aloha Airlines, a proud supporter of UH Sports. For reservations and fare specials, visit aloha-airlines.com. There you see through the air tonight, Utah State 164, Hawaii again 465. Heavily loaded with atmospheric pressure. That's the Hawaii offense. Ball is given up the middle. And wedging his way still on his feet from the 39 inside the 35-yard line.
I think it was LeSueur, Jim. Number 1.
So LeSueur getting a carry. The quarterback is Jace McCormick out of Layton, Utah. 6'1", 190, the sophomore. Second down and about 4. Again, it is LeSueur. And LeSueur wanted to get away from Illumimian, but he couldn't do it. Short of the first down. That will bring up third down now for Utah State. So McCormick looks to the sideline as we look at LeSueur. He's out of Fallon, Nevada. Went to Dixie State Junior College. 35 carries and 93 yards for the season. 1 touchdown. Rolling is McCormick. Eludes one man. Now McCormick throws. That is complete. Crossing pattern on the 21-yard line. And Xavier Bowman makes his first reception of the game. 10-yard. 10-yard pickup.
Adam Leonard wishes he had that one over again. You watch him coming off here on the screen on the side. Just over pursues. Allows McCormick to come back and make the completion.
So Bowman, that's only his third reception. And that's the first reception for positive yards this year. Utah State has advanced the ball to the 21 of Hawaii here in the fourth period. The motion is Fausel. Ball is to LeSueur. LeSueur trying to get outside, and they ride him to the turf at the boundary. Adam Leonard leading the charge. And Brad Kalilimoku. Jacob Patek also participating.
You got to wonder if something's wrong with Dervin Spate. You've got him out of the game. You've got Robinson out of the game. There's just nothing there. LeSueur thinks he can get something from the outside, but there's 3 Warriors to escort him to the sideline.
Second down for Utah State. The ball at the 24. Have to go to the 11 for the first down. McCormick sets up, eludes, now throws. That is incomplete. Had a man open in the end zone. Omar Sawyer, the sophomore.
Jacob Patek coming up on the blitz, being picked up by LeSueur, allowing McCormick to get that ball off right here.
That pass just wide. So Sawyer unable to gather it in the end zone. That brings up a big third down play here for Utah State. 3 receiver formation. McCormick in trouble. McCormick goes down. That's the 6th sack by Hawaii in this game. They were relentless that time.
Again, Patek coming up on the blitz. Warriors sending pretty much everybody. Solomon coming in there late.
Yelamimian is there. Purcell also there. Maka also joined the crowd.
Just trying to put some points on the board with this field goal, I guess.
So the field goal ball will be on the, this is a long one. It is on its way. It's good. Didn't have a lot of height to it, but a good field goal and a 47-yarder by Peter Caldwell. That changes the score.
Everyone that lives in Hawaii should feel fortunate. Everything here in Hawaii is lush and beautiful. I like my life. This is what I do. This is how I live. This is Hawaii. Hawaii is my home. Bud Light, it's always worth it.
Let the comfort of a futon put you in paradise. The Honolulu Futon Company. Your home, your look. Customize your furniture. Relax in comfort. Let the new Aloha mattress keep you cool. Made with aloe fibers exclusively for Hawaii. Exclusively made for you. Honolulu Futon Company. Your home, your look. Customize your furniture.
Rob, I'll get right to it. You're great, and I want you to lead the chicken team. Your first order of business will be my Chipotle Chicken Ciabatta Sandwich. Your choice of a spicy, crispy, or grilled chicken breast with a Chipotle sauce served on lightly toasted ciabatta bread.
Thanks, Jack. Pick the right guy. I am your chicken man.
Rob, you got the job. Cool it.
Your job search is easy at JobLink 8, only at KHNL.com.
A reminder that Central Pacific Bank sponsors the Loyalty Award, donating $100 for every Hawaii touchdown. Central Pacific Bank, fiercely loyal banking. Had to reach deep tonight, that's for sure. They've had to change some bulbs on the scoreboard. 52-30, 82 points have been put up. Here's Michael Washington from inside the 5. Washington tripped up as he crosses the 25-yard line.
I think that was Xavier Bowman who tripped him up, Jim. Number 17.
Here's the leading receivers. Jason Rivers, 8 for 130 yards. Chad Hawthorne, 9 for 116 yards. Ryan Grice-Mullen, 5 for 113. And Devon Best, 5 for 86. And you just put in some touchdowns, sprinkle them in another column. First down for Hawaii. Inoki Funaki is the quarterback. Mario Cox back there with him. First time we've seen Mario in a few weeks. Here's Mario running with the ball, and he fights for yardage. Down he goes. 5:06 left in the game. Hawaii leading 52-30.
Nathan Royster there coming across and making the tackle.
Royster out of San Leandro, California. So Hawaii will come to the line again. Second down and 7. Funaki waiting for the snap. Fakes the handoff, takes it himself around the end, steps into the secondary. 40, 45, Funaki down at midfield. Very interesting run. 20 yards on that for Funaki.
Actually puts on a few good moves here as it's a designed run play right from the very beginning. Little head fake there, leaving somebody totally on the field, wondering what happened.
Took a shot at the end. Jordan Glass and Caleb Taylor chasing him down. First down at midfield or at the 49-yard line of Utah State. Ball is given on a sweep. And carrying the ball is number 45 for Hawaii, and that is Laumole, Jason Laumole. Laumole carrying for the first time in this game. So Hawaii has let everybody participate.
Well, you get the sense here, June's running out the clock, 3 running plays in a row. Probably respectful of the 30 points that Utah State's put up on the board tonight. They came in here and have arguably played the Warriors as good as anybody has this year, with the exception of maybe Louisiana Tech.
Yes. Second down and 11 from midfield. Funaki running again, but we have a penalty flag.
False start, legal procedure.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 50, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
So Hawaii, they're going to call that on number 50. Leituli, Laupepa Leituli is 150 and Mana Lolotai is another 50. But they are not offensive linemen. One is a defensive lineman and the other a linebacker. Close enough.
I think it was Laupepa.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Second down and 15. Funaki steps away from trouble. He'll run. Gets to midfield, takes a hit. Picks up 5 on the play. That'll bring up third down about 10. Von Hall out of Reseda, California made the stop. Hall leads the team in tackles coming into this game.
Cameron Allen Jones come up here, try and put a tackle block on. Nice second effort by him.
Usually when we see Cameron Allen Jones, they have 6 linemen.
That's right. He's playing at tight end.
So he is in there to give Funaki an extra blocker as he saunders around the end. 2:02 left. Hawaii will win this. They will remain undefeated. And let's see, as we have whistles.
Yeah, I don't think the 25-second clock started on time, and Whitecap is not happy about it.
Please reset the clock to 2 minutes and 11 seconds. 2:11, please.
So they're going to go back to 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So if you, in your lifetime, wanted to go back and do things over, now is the chance. Because they have taken the clock and they have moved it back. We were at 1:54 and now we're back at 2:11 and it is ticking away.
Anything in the last 15 seconds you want to do over?
You can. Third down and 9. Funaki steps up in the pocket, throws long. And that is intended for Malcolm Lane, incomplete up the near sideline. Drew Pearson was running with him, covering for Utah State.
You know, Jim, in one of the local newspapers today, there was a letter to the editor questioning whether or not Hawaii deserved to be a top 25 team. And, you know, I don't see how anybody could say that the Warriors are not in the top 20% of the country. Almost all the computer polls have them somewhere between 31 and 15. And they take into account who you've played, who they play, et cetera, et cetera. For example, UNLV playing against Utah, beating them, who beat UCLA.
There's the punt by Grasso, taken on the run by Keyjohn Murphy. Murphy, 5'8", sophomore from Fresno, California. Short run back, 28-yard punt, and an 8-yard return. So we're going to start closing out things here, but we'll take this break first.
What would happen if you switched every bulb in your house to a compact fluorescent? You'll save energy and money. because CFLs use up to 75% less electricity than old-fashioned bulbs.
Change every bulb in your house to Energy Star CFLs and the savings will really add up. Plus, you'll help preserve our environment too.
So switch to CFLs and save. Download coupons at hawaiisenergyfuture.com.
To illustrate the speed of Hawaiian Telcom's new 11 meg high-speed internet, we'll carry out this experiment. Let's commence. Good show. A download speed of 11 megs was reached in 1 second. And now, upload. Brilliant! Their 1 meg upload speed is also Hawaii's fastest. It's official. Hawaiian Telcom has the fastest internet in Hawaii with speeds of up to 11 megs. To connect, call 643-0805 or visit hawaiiantel.com. Are you ready for the speed?
You know, this has to be my favorite time of the year. That's right. It's Chevy Truck Month,
where you'll get 0% financing for 60 months for well-qualified buyers on the 07 Silverado half-ton extended cab. That's right, 0% financing on the truck with the best highway fuel economy of any full-size pickup. Better than Ford, better than Toyota.
Hey, don't miss out. Get the Chevy Truck Month by October 31st.
See your Hawaii Chevy dealer today.
Bank of Hawaii presents our choice for tonight's most valuable players. For Utah State, Kevin Robinson, 253 all-purpose yards, including a 100-yard kickoff return. And also for Hawaii, Tyler Graunke came in replace of Brennan, threw 9 of 11 for 246 yards and 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Those are our players of the game. Bank of Hawaii salutes them both. Throw to the near side to the tight end.
And as I was saying before the break, and they go into hurry-up offense, I clearly believe the Warriors are a top 25 team. Don't know exactly where they deserve to be in there other than what people vote them for.
Harkey was the receiver. The next play, they throw again, and this one is to Doug Barber. That moves the ball up to the 40-yard line, but there's only 1:09 left.
Just
Hawaii
showing
leading
some pride here.
Yeah, Hawaii leading 52-20. 52-30, excuse me. McCormick throws, and that is a complete pass into Hawaii territory. And again, it is to Barber.
But it is true that the Warriors have played some easy teams in the first half of their season. Tonight finishes their 6th game, the first half of their season. Sagarin has their rated strength of schedule at 151. 151. There's only 118 Division I teams, I believe.
Ball is thrown. That is off one player into the hands of another. That went off Barber, and that went into the hands of Omar Sawyer.
That was like a hook and ladder, unintentional.
29-yard pickup. 38 seconds left.
But the next 6 games of Warriors play will be definitely different than the first 6. The average strength of schedule rating of the teams that they're going to play is 72. So that's twice as good as the teams who have played so far. And Sagarin has Boise State today, before they played, rated at 22 and Washington at 27. And Sagarin has...
was fumbled forward out of bounds. Will be returned to the spot of the fumble, and the clock will start on the ready.
Has Hawaii at 31. So Hawaii has definitely got some challenges in the back half of their season, Jim.
They do. Clock running again. McCormick trying to get one more touchdown. Throws into the end zone. That is caught. And that is a touchdown to Xavier Bowman. Bowman, little used throughout this season, comes up with a touchdown reception, a 14-yard touchdown pass from Chase McCormick into the end zone to Xavier Bowman.
Well, you know, Jim, the Warriors have played some teams in these first 6 games I just said that have struggled quite a bit, but you got to really take it off for these Aggies. They have not given up. They showed pride. They just keep on coming at you. Definitely one of the better teams the Warriors have played in the first half of the season.
Caldwell puts it through the upright, and that makes it now 52-35. 37. What scoreboard am I looking at here? 52-37. There it is. And it has been one of those games that you get knocked down, you get dragged out. I mean, there's so much offense, so much scoring.
89 points.
Technicians are going to have to go up into that scoreboard and change some bulbs. There you see Colt Brennan, and again we'll be concerned for Colt Brennan's ankle. That injury is going to be chronic.
Well, he's got his knee taped too, if you notice there, and that was a concern when you got hit high-low like that. I hope that whatever it is, it's not too bad. But at least the ankle's reoccurring, Jim. You don't need another one on the same leg and having a knee problem with an ankle problem.
That's true. 27 seconds left. 52-37. That's the score of the game. Onside kick. That is taken out of the air and returned by Paipule to the 20-yard line.
Nice heads-up play by Timo.
Yep, 26 seconds left. Hawaii has a chance to get another score. Boy, on the special teams, he just came up, took that onside kick, and returned it. Was tackled by Xavier Bowman, who moments ago caught the touchdown pass for Utah State.
I think Hawaii will take a knee, but the question is, will the Aggies call timeout?
Aggies are here to play. They want to play the full fourth quarter. The Warriors have been able to win this game. Of that, there is no doubt. And we will have the knee, and it will be over. Hawaii will win it. And they will be 6-0. So as the clock finally ticks off the seconds in this game, Hawaii can look up at the scoreboard and say, yes, we have been able to win another one. But immediately they have concerns for their starting quarterback, Colt Brennan. Just how injured is he? And about the schedule coming up, just how difficult will it be? We will return.
Dash, sink, drip, drain, draft and drink. Innovative, draft and Heineken.
The latest buzz in woodworking is at Woodcraft. The best quality power tools and equipment. Everyone in Hawaii is talking about it. Woodcraft has everything a woodworker needs to make that special project a winner. Quality products, reasonably priced, puts you on the cutting edge. Come to Woodcraft, get the buzz. Your power tool and quality woodworking supply source. Woodcraft on Kalani Street. Open every day. Neighbor Island orders welcome.
At Bank of Hawaii, we believe the equity you have in your home today should help you realize your dreams for tomorrow. From sending the kids off to college, to adding on so they can move back in with you. Let a Banco home equity line of credit put your dreams into high gear. Bank of Hawaii. That's my bank. Take advantage of this low introductory rate with no bank closing costs. Apply for a Banco home equity line of credit today.
This Red Star moment is sponsored by Heineken. It's all about the beer Heineken. We go back to when Tyler Graunke entered the game. 36-yard pass to Best. Got it down to inside the 1-yard line. And then on 2 plays, here is Tyler Graunke. Graunke coming to the near side, and he is pushing the ball into the end zone. They reviewed that, but it was a touchdown all the way. So the Red Star moment belongs to Tyler Graunke. We'll be back in 3 weeks when the Warriors host another group of Aggies, this time from New Mexico State, and footballs will fill the air. Until then, for our great K5 crew, this is Jim Leahy wishing you well. Final 52-37 in favor of Hawaii. This has been another exclusive sports presentation of K5, the home team.
captioning is brought.
To the June Jones Show. With their leaders battered and bruised, nursing injuries, the Warriors had to dig deep. Defensive captain Michael Lafayette was on the sideline, and Colt Brennan left early in the second half, nursing that sprained ankle.
But with the big guns out, Hawaii got the job done. Tyler Graunke came in and displayed Colt-like accuracy. This time, it was all cheers for the backup QB.
And while it wasn't as dominating a performance as expected against a winless Utah State squad, the final score is the Warriors' 6th straight win.
Ultimately meaning the dream is still alive.
Here's a look at what's on tap tonight, brought to you by Bud Light. Always worth it. We'll recap Graunke's heroics that led to 4 touchdowns for the Warriors. JJ's in studio to offer his perspective on the game and look ahead to next week's matchup with Dick Tomey and the San Jose Spartans. And we'll go under the helmet with Gaitan Galdera, a local boy whose giant impact on the field is little known outside Manoa.
First, Colt Brennan entered this season as the driving force for Hawaii. And while a nagging injury took him off the field again Saturday night, Graunke stepped in and stepped up his play, proving the Warriors actually do have depth at quarterback. That's tonight's opening drive.
10, 5, touchdown!
Groggy and sore, Colt left the game after this hit in the second quarter.
One guy went low, one guy went high. When the guy hit me high, the guy low held onto my legs, so as I turned, my ankles were both right there, and the bad one just turned over, and a bunch of sharp pain went down into my legs.
So he went out, and Graunke came in. Brennan returned in the second half, but had to leave again as that ankle continued to swell.
I thought he was just going to be out a couple plays, and when I called 2 plays, and Tyler's threw a strike, I said, okay, well, we'll just go that way.
Tyler did not disappoint, completing 9 of 11 passes for 246 yards. He also accounted for 4 touchdowns.
Tonight I felt like I was playing my game out there. Everything was like my balls were going exactly where I wanted them to, and things were just flowing. Things were working out exactly like I envisioned before the play, and I just rolled with it, man.
Jason Rivers returned from injury and caught 7 passes for 130 yards and a trip to the end zone. In fact, he, C.J. Hawthorne, and Ryan Grace Mullen all topped the 100-yard mark.
What was more impressive tonight, I think, than anything was trying to tackle those receivers in the open field. I mean, you saw how much trouble we had with those guys. That was another one of our goals, just make them throw the ball in front of you and then tackle the guy in the open field. We had trouble at times,
Still, the Aggies were in it all the way until the third quarter. Hawaii's D gave up 370 yards of total offense on its home turf.
I feel like, we could have done better, but every night we come out there, we just got to shut teams down, I don't know how many points we gave up, more than 30, and that's too much,
But the Aggies had extra motivation, and so will everyone else, as the Warriors now embark on the tougher half of the season.
We're ranked, and a lot of people think that we don't belong where we are, so they're going to play the best game that they're going to play all year.
Thanks, Steve. As we take a look inside the numbers brought to you by the University of Hawai'i Federal Credit Union, Hawaii was once again able to get to the quarterback, racking up 6 sacks and 11 in the last 2 weeks. The Aggies did a nice job keeping the ball, holding it for 10 more minutes, and had 16 additional plays from scrimmage. As for the rankings, even with the win, the Warriors fell 1 spot in the coaches poll to number 16. As for the Associated Press, they remained where they were last week, also at number 16. We're joined now in studio with head coach June Jones. Coach, did you get a sense of the Aggies, maybe even in that first drive, 4th and 1, they decided to go for it, end up scoring there? Were you like, okay, they've set an aggressive tempo to this?
Well, I told the players last Monday, and I reiterated it again the night before the game, that the Aggies were going to play one more game, and it was going to be this game. They really should have won 2 of the 5 games. They should have been 2 and 3 coming in here. They played Oklahoma. They didn't quit against them. They played really hard. And I knew the Aggies were going to play one more game. Now, they may struggle from here on, but I knew they were going to play last night.
They definitely showed up. A lot of the players, the Warriors, saying a common theme for them. They said, we got off to a slow start. Was it something Utah State was doing, or would you say it was more of what Hawaii was doing that happened?
Well, I think the kickoff return for a touchdown, we knew that they were, a very, very good kickoff return team and a very dangerous returner. And, I remember saying we're going to know right away what kind of game we're in when that guy returns the ball. And guess what? He takes it back for a touchdown. So, we played hard. We did the things. We're a little disappointed. We gave up the big play on defense and threw the 1 interception late in the game. I was trying to get through. I really wanted to get through the game with no turnovers. But we did what we needed to do to win, and that was good.
How bad did Colt tweak his ankle, and whose decision was it for him to stop playing? Was it yours? Was it his?
I was putting him back in, but the trainer said he had to be retaped, and he wasn't ready to go in. So, I just put Tyler in, and Tyler's a baller, and he loves the game, and I knew he was going to throw a strike the first play. I knew he was, and that's why I didn't hesitate calling the pass that I did.
Do you think that Tyler, because he had that start against Charleston Southern, he has a different air of confidence, and that maybe played into his success last night?
I think every time he has played, he's played well, and I have confidence in Tyler. We hope that he doesn't have to get in the game in those situations, certainly, but it's great for the team to know that he's there.
Every quarterback has his certain strength. What is Tyler Graunke's strength?
Well, I think he's a competitor. He's very accurate with the passes, just like Colt. I don't think he's probably as pass in, pass out, but he can throw all the throws. I mean, he's a competitive player, and he wants to win, I think, more than anybody on the field when he's out there.
How about the return of Jason Rivers from that back injury? Quite a comeback, one of 3 receivers with 100+ yards. He's now also 3rd receiver in UH history to reach 3,000 yards for his career.
Well, Jay Rivers had tremendous 2 years in a row. I felt bad, his back bothered him for 2 games, and he didn't, he really wasn't himself. He tried to push himself to get in. I'm glad I held him out because I saw him again like he was before, and I think everybody understands that he's a real key, and I tried to get him right away involved early in the game.
As we switch to the other side of the ball, defensively, Hawaii able to come away with 6 more sacks against Utah State. That now puts Hawaii at 6th in the nation for sacks. What can you say about defense? What has changed that they're able to get to the quarterback quicker?
Well, I think Jeff Reinbold and Greg both do a great job with the schemes and the intensity of getting off the football. Obviously, Greg, we do a lot of zone blitzing, and we have a lot of sacks from the zone blitzes too.
How about Solomon Elimimian? I felt like when I was watching the game that he was in on every single tackle, and then I look at the final stats. Well, 20 tackles, he pretty much was.
Well, he is everywhere. He's got that little football gear, and just like he did in high school, and that's why we took him, and that's why we wanted him. He made all the plays on the field, and I think he's in better shape this year than he's ever been in reporting, and I think it's paid off.
Coach, right now, as you look at the game, you guys are still undefeated. What needs to be done? Where is there room for improvement going into the rest as we look at the second half of the season?
Well, I think because we have made some big plays on defense, you saw it, and I told Greg after the Idaho game that I thought there would be a lot of trick plays, a lot of pump fakes, and that type of thing. So we're going to have to improve that part of it, but we're not going to change how we are, and our corners are going to take chances and do things, but we got to have other guys cover up when we do. And I think offensively, I think we just have to keep taking care of the football. We won a couple games with a lot of turnovers, and that doesn't happen very often. and we got to take care of the football when we catch it, finish with it, and the running back's got to finish with it, and we got to just end up with the ball in our hands after every play.
We haven't finished with the coach just yet. When we come back, JJ discusses San Jose State and another chess match against the mentor, Dick Tomey.
Mahalo to the associate sponsors of June Jones. Wow, you need help. You need Exhaust Systems Hawaii. Whether it's a stock replacement or a high-performance Flowmaster or Borla system, head for Exhaust Systems Hawaii in Honolulu, Kailua, or Waipahu. Hawaii's exhaust leader since 1985.
Okay, class. If you're in the South, you say, "Hey, feller, give me a Bud Light."
Hey, feller, give me a Bud Light.
In New York, you say, "Hey, give me a Bud Light." You got a problem with that?
Bud Light, you got a problem with that.
In East LA, you say, "Give me a Bud Light, Holmes."
Give me a Bud Light, Holmes.
More importantly, if somebody asks you for a Bud Light, you say,
"Don't speak English."
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Bud Light?
Bud Light.
Bud Light.
Bud Light.
That's cold.
Since our inception, the University of Hawai'i Federal Credit Union has served our community and our university.
Today, our members enjoy these benefits. Our low-cost Visa Platinum card with travel benefits and buyer appreciation bonuses. Lower rates on loans with fast, friendly service. And our Pepaki Ko'o card makes after-hours banking a breeze.
That's why at the University of Hawai'i Federal Credit Union,
we belong to you.
At Cairo Plan Hawaii, we're specialists in you.
You're the one.
You're the reason we're locally owned and managed.
You're the reason we have more than 60 clinics.
Statewide.
You're the reason our care is affordable.
You're the reason we care for you like family.
At Cairo Plan Hawaii, we're specialists in you.
Promotional consideration for the June Jones Show is brought to you by Peterson Sign Company, serving Hawaii since 1968.
We've tried to evolve with the game. The game's different now. I mean, we play with no backs in the backfield. Some we play, we do a lot of things that are I think, things that teams today do. But what I really believe coaching is, Liz, is just the ability to get people to perform at a high level on a consistent basis. And I think as I said, I've evolved a little bit that way, but I haven't changed much in how to treat people, because I think you just have to treat people like you would treat your kids. And I think you'll have a chance to get something out of them. And then you can work them hard.
Okay, we're back with Coach Jones. Coach, taking it to the road, San Jose State. Do you have to change any of your routine because it's a Friday game?
Well, we just shorten it one day. I mean, normally we do something on a Monday, just kind of lift and get out there and run a little bit. But Monday will be a Tuesday for us, so we just move everything up one day, and then we play on Friday evening.
San Jose State started off the season 0-3 against pretty good teams, Stanford, Kansas State, and Arizona State. And now at home, they've got a 3-game win streak, so you come in there with a team with definitely some momentum. Yeah,
well, you know, Dick's going to have his team ready to play us. We had gotten word even as early as the spring last year. He had told his team that the key game next year that will decide who they are is Hawaii, and so we know they're going to be ready. And of course, with our ranking, and because we beat them last year, they're going to be ready to play. But our guys know that, and we'll show up and play.
Being that they have this game circled on their calendar, it also is big when you look at the bigger picture that this is going to be a nationally televised game, Friday night game. Those kind of college games have a lot more attention, so maybe there's even more on the line for Hawaii in that respect.
Well, I think so too, but we don't really worry about that part of it. But yes, you're right. It is. Everybody, every team, every college player in America watches that game, and we're excited about the opportunity to do that. We set a goal for ourselves, and we need to get to bye week undefeated, and that's what we want to do.
Student versus teacher, we always make that comparison when we think of June Jones versus Dick Tomey and take it to the sidelines. Is that does that theme run kind of old for you?
Well, I always enjoy playing Dick. Our philosophies were always so different in what we did and how we did things, and so I do the same. I do just like the players. You kind of get up for different games the same way. Dick has done a fantastic job at every place he's been. He knows us probably as well as any person over there. Having done our games here, being on the practice field with us, he knows what we're all about, and so he has some advantages that maybe other guys don't have, and hopefully we can just execute and keep moving the ball against him.
Little extra incentive for him, being that you've got him the last 2 times around.
Well, I'm sure that is, and we went down to the wire up there a couple of years ago. Last year we kind of made some plays and it was a little bit more one-sided, but this year it'll be a dogfight from the time the game starts, and he's got some young kids in this offensive line that are starting to get better. And the wins give them confidence, and they're at the height of their moment right now after coming off 3 wins.
I know Coach Tomey told me earlier this year that he has evolved as a coach and he is passing the ball a lot more, and that's pretty evident. Adam Terfalis returns at quarterback. He's passed for more than 300 yards in 3 straight games, and they have been running more of a wide passing attack. I'm sure that you've already known.
Yeah, well, they ran 42 snaps with no backs in the backfield against Utah State. Now, that's not like Dick Tomey for sure. And their defense looks a little bit different this year, just looking at them real quickly last week. But, like I said, Dick knows how to win football games, and he'll do some things that we're not, have not seen on film and haven't had time to practice for. And his special teams, I'm sure we'll get the onside kicks and all those little muddle huddle things. Well, those things are in a coach's personality, and Dick is Dick, and I'm sure, and he'll have his team ready.
Well, let's talk about the publicity that you have received, especially this week. ESPN magazine has Colt Brennan on the cover, and you want to talk a little bit about that article and how they took this Ohana approach?
Yeah, no, it was a great article. I don't know how many people had the opportunity to read it yet, but that exposure all over the country, for Hawaii, not just Colt, but for Hawaii is big, and we've been lucky to be in the New York Times, LA Times, and now ESPN magazine, so it's been real fun.
Okay, well, next week, be sure to stay tuned. We're going to talk a little bit about the book Hawaii Football, A Story of Faith, Hope, and Redemption. That's by J. David Miller, but you had a lot to do with a lot of former players involved in it. You're going to give us a sense of it?
Yeah, no, it's a very good book, and it's going to be in bookstores everywhere, and it has a lot of applications, and I think the people, it's individual stories on the players that have played here really since '99, and guys that have played for me in the NFL. Jeff George has a spot, Jeff Ulbrich, Ashley Lee. Dan Robinson's chapter is unbelievable. Reagan Moe, I started crying when I read that. So it's a pretty powerful book.
Okay, enough said. We're going to talk about that next week. All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Still to come, an undersized star, tough as nails, strong as an ox. But while Gaitan Galdera is content charging down the field on special teams, he's still waiting for his chance to shine on the Warriors D.
On the hunt for great deals? They're as close as your neighborhood City Mill. Like this powerful 19.2 volt drill, driver, and flashlight combo. Add this 64-piece extreme drill driver bit combo set. Get your office or kitchen organized with this 6-piece drawer organizer set. And look at this 100-piece bit and accessory set. Find these special buys and more at your neighborhood City Mill. Priced right every day.
Monopoly at McDonald's is back.
We played the first day and won.
I'm getting a motorcycle.
No, you're not.
My Egg McMuffin won me an Egg McMuffin. Weird.
My rotation strategy worked. I won free fries and some serious cash. I'm on fire.
Whatever your strategy, there's never been a better time to play. With almost $200 million in cash and prizes, a $1 million prize served every week, plus guaranteed bonus pieces on all premium chicken.
We all won.
His head's like magic.
At United Truck Rental, you can rent cargo vans, flatbeds, pickup trucks, high cubes, dump trucks, and 15-passenger vans. With over 20 different models to choose from, United Truck Rental has the vans and trucks you need to move people, supplies, heavy equipment, and even weekend projects. We have the lowest daily prices in town. Contractors, businesses, sports teams, and other groups know that United Truck Rental has one of the finest, most complete rental fleets in Hawaii. United Truck Rental. Rent me.
Hi, can I help you find a book today? Would you like to check out a book? Do you have any particular authors that you like? Here's a good one about vegetables. You might find that one interesting. Driving for hours with frozen feet. Can I go over here and check it out for you? Sure. Just a reminder, HGEA has 25,000 members working hard for you each day. Thank you.
I learned early from my coaches that success comes from a lot of hard work. Then about 2 years ago, I thought my career might be over because of extreme pain in my shoulder. I couldn't practice, I could hardly even compete. I could have gone to any surgeon in the country, but I came to trust the bone and joint specialist at Straub because a coach of mine is one of them. They treated my shoulder, and now with their help, I'm back. When it really mattered, I chose Straub.
Mahalo to the associate sponsors of June Jones.
We're watching from now.
I just want to contribute, one big play a game. Whether it be, a really big tackle on kickoff, whether it be a really big block in the game, or whether it was me setting up some kind of big play. I just want to, personally, I just wanted to contribute at least one play.
At 5'7", 170 pounds, he's hardly intimidating. That is, until you see him hit. Gaitin Galdera may not be the biggest warrior, but he may just have the biggest heart. Tonight, we go under the helmet with a special team star who's still fighting for a spot on defense.
He bring the wood, I tell you, man. If you guys like watch some of his highlights, man, he's amazing. For a little guy, he can just knock big guys over. He probably knocked me over on kickoff,
I mean, if you could take his guts, his heart out of his chest and body, put it in, a guy that's 6'4", 220, he's an NFL guy on Sunday.
But for now, Gaitin Galdera is content doing what he does, blocking and tackling on special teams, making plays wherever he can. Now, you may not always see him, but trust me, he's there.
I take it very personal. I take a lot of pride in doing my job. If I know I beat the guy across from me, we have a chance of winning, And if everybody kind of thinks that way on special teams, then we're going to be, victorious.
In a way, he's already won. You see, Gaitin has always been undersized. When he first started playing Pop Warner in 3rd grade, his coach didn't want him, but he never let up, and eventually...
My 3rd year, this is Pop Warner, so when I was a little kid, I was still smaller than everybody, but, I started tearing it up on the field or whatever, and I could see it, in my coach's eyes that his whole perspective changed. I've been told that I was, my stature, I've been short my whole life, but, I kind of counter that with, just hard work, technique.
As years went by, he perfected his craft on the field and in the weight room. Gaitin can bench press 225 pounds 20 times. And as you heard, he's already got everyone's respect. 4 times throughout his career, he's been awarded the game ball after a Warrior victory. Not bad for a little guy.
Ryan is tripped up before he gets to the 15.
There's advantages to being short, too, as well, When I run down on kickoff, I'm blowing up guys that's, twice the size of me, but I have leverage. It's the secret, I guess you can say.
Yet after he graduated from Kamehameha in 2004, no one recruited him. He thought about playing for a few Division III schools, but after meeting with UH defensive backs coach Rich Miano,
I thought to myself, man, if I'm going to stay home, I might as well, go big or go home. Kind of an attitude. And I came one somewhere, I worked out, and I never left. I came every day. And, I'm still here till today.
3 years later, he's found a niche. But for all that he's accomplished and overcome,
I like to think of myself as you know, the typical island boy, local boy from Hawaii, born and raised, from Waihoa.
A local boy in touch with his roots. Gaitan's other passion is hula. He's been dancing since his freshman year at Kamehameha, and for the last 5 years, he's competed at the most prestigious event in the world.
I dance with, that's for Kaleo Trinidad, Kaleo Laka Ikaikino Kala. And you know, ever since I joined Mary Mark, I got in touch with my Hawaiian side, my culture side.
Gaitan says it also helps him balance out his life, offering an escape from the rigors of football and school. One day he may find himself passing the tradition on to the next generation as a kumu hula. He's already had practice, helping the Warriors with the pregame ha'a. Keala Watson and Brad Kalilimoku were in charge of the lyrics. Gaitan handled the moves, but admittedly, there was hesitation within the team at the beginning of the year.
Like, why is it like a Hawaiian thing, you know? I mean, you know, it's kind of thing like that. You know, like I said, so you know, of course we made it in Hawaiian language because we're from Hawaii, you know, but it has nothing like, you know, so, you know, there's nothing to do with, you know, being Hawaiian or, you know, being Polynesian or like even being from Hawaii. You can be, you know, it's just about being a Hawaii warrior.
While coaches preach that special teams is 1/3 of the game, it still eats at Gaitan to come off the bench on defense. But he stays focused, knowing that every time he charges downfield, someone is watching.
I would kind of want him to get out that, you know, when they look at number 18 on the field, they, you know, they know that I'm playing for them, you know, kind of thing. And representing Hawaii, there's no better feeling. There's no better feeling.
So he continues to battle, throwing his body around with reckless abandon, earning labels like overachiever, even underdog. But Gaitan has only one explanation for the heart he puts on display every Saturday night. He's just a typical local boy. For the June Jones Show, I'm Steve Uehara.
The University of Hawai'i Federal Credit Union makes it easier for you to do business with us.
Through our partnership with First Hawaiian Bank, our members access over 200 ATMs. Combined with our shared branches, you can now get fast cash nearly everywhere, at home, apply for a loan, or pay bills with our convenient online services.
Convenience and accessibility at the University of Hawai'i Federal Credit Union. We're the university's credit union, and we belong to you.
Everyone that lives in Hawaii should feel fortunate. Everything here in Hawaii is lush and beautiful. I like my life. This is what I do. This is how I live. This is Hawaii. Hawaii is my home. Bud Light. It's always worth it.
Your local laborers union wants to offer you a high-paying, secure career with all the benefits. Call us now to learn about all the skilled positions that fall under our umbrella. Let us train you for success at no cost to you. The Laborers Union Local 368. You owe yourself and your family a secure future. Call 841-5877 for all the details. Construction is booming, so long-term employment is virtually assured. Don't wait. Call 841-5877 today.
The bigger Hawaii becomes, the more we need the little things that keep us together. Things you can fit in the palm of your hand or next to your heart. The times when we connect person to person. The little acts of compassion, people helping people. As we grow, it's nice to know that Hawaii's health plan is here to take care of the little things that make all the difference in the world. HMSA, working for a healthier Hawaii.
Check it out. What you think? Looks good, yeah? Wow. You better go over there and check it out.
I don't know. It's kind of out of my league.
Come on. I know you want to get your hands on that.
Yeah.
At Woodcraft, we have the power tools and equipment to satisfy your needs. Find out why we are the leading source in Hawaii for quality woodworking equipment. Only at Woodcraft on Kalani Street. Open every day. Neighbor Island orders welcome.
Finally tonight, former UH head coach Dick Tomey once said, football is not a complicated game. People are complicated. Most of the teams that don't work, it's not because they're not capable, it's because they don't work well together.
The Warriors are doing everything expected of them, winning games and doing it together. Colt Brennan's bad ankle will not be the storyline all season, but what it's brought out of him and his teammates will.
Right now, Hawaii is one of only 9 undefeated teams left in the country, and Tyler Graunke is a big reason why.
What makes it more meaningful for Graunke and the Warriors, Brennan did not sit on the bench and fall victim to his frustrations. He stood on the sidelines rooting and mentoring his future successors.
And that's gone a long way for the unity and togetherness of the team. Our thanks go to Coach Jones and Gaitin Galdera for being a part of the show. We'll see you next week.
The June Jones Show is proudly presented by University of Hawai'i Federal Credit Union, the university's credit union, and